Blaised. Blaised. Get blazed. Get blazed. Blaised. Get blazed.
Yo, 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 what is up, everybody out there? It's your boy Blaise McCoy back with our second installment of the Get Blaised Talk Show interview series, where your boy Blaise is going to reach out to some of his favorite YouTubers from here to there, from all around the globe, and bring them in and talk shop. We want to learn from each other. We want to have some fun with this stuff. But as we always do, let's pay respects to those stopping in the chat, hanging out here first and foremost. Yes, sir. Johnny Blaze, ain't a damn thing changed. BDBGP will be talking to the man himself very shortly. We got Wally in the house. Thank you very much. We got LMJ in the house, of course. Good to see a life's magical journey in the building. Tito's in the house. Great to see you. MSW as well. Wolverine Gaming. Wolverines! Yes, sir, my brother. Great to see you. Make sure you guys share this out if you haven't already. You know the YouTube story. Give it all good old thumbs up. And the reason I started this to kind of reach out and help us learn from each other. Successes as well as failures out there. We all know, and I don't mind admitting it. But before we get started and bring on the guest, as I like to do in this series, is explain a little bit about how I got to where I am. A lot of you guys know, if you're new to the channel, coming over from BDBGP's channel as well, welcome in. I know a lot of you guys and gals already from the Battle to Beats and a lot of his gaming streams. We'll talk a lot about what he does. But first, a little bit more about me. I have a Bachelor of Science in Marketing. Yeah, I got notes everywhere, man. I'm like a Boy Scout. Got to be prepared. So, Rob Machete, good to see Double O Beer in the building. You know, it's always beer 30 for that guy. All right, my man. So, a little bit about me. I have a Bachelor of Science in Marketing. Seems like more than a decade ago. Seems like a lifetime ago. But it's weird to finally get to use that here on YouTube, as I came for a while. I was a sales and management professional in 3 major corporations in my career. I did a lot of interviews, public speaking and stuff like that, meetings, organization, a lot of those things that I'm using now on this channel is kind of weird. So I want to share best practices with everybody out there. I've always been taught to do that. If I'm not giving back, I don't want to be here. I've said that a million times too. I'm a big sports card and memorabilia collector. You guys seen what I do around here, around me. My backdrop is never going to be a green screen. It's always going to be stuff I can show off to you guys and gals out there. We talked about the Legion of Dork podcast. You see the wrestling figures, the starting lineup figures, the Star Wars figures, my He-Man figures, my favorite, the Transformers over here as well. So a lot of the collectibles you'll find on my other podcast with Super Nacho, the Legion of Dork. Yeah, we have fun with that. And we'll be bringing you another special edition of that too, talking about retro TV games, movies, board games, all kinds of stuff out there. And going forward, I was a DJ. So in music since day one, I was a drummer in a metal band. So rock, hip hop, that's my fortes. As you see, we'll be talking about a little hip hop. Me and BDB got a lot of similar stuff. We've talked about a lot of his streams as well. So we're really going to have fun. If you're a hip hop head out there, this is going to be something for you. We're going to take it back to old school and also some new school stuff as well. Making music, doing my own beats. I use a lot of the stuff here on the channel as well from scratch. And then the wrestling side is what got me into YouTube. In the year 2000, I started an EFED, which is basically Dungeons and Dragons with wrestling, or, you create your characters, we play it out on paper is how it started. Now, with the digital era, people here with WW2K playing out the scenarios here with leaning towards death wrestling. I never thought I'd be on camera. It's not about me. I'm not a pat myself on the back, look at me type of guy. But as I started doing more and more streams, you guys started liking it. We got more and more involved. More people came around. I met people from all over the world. And that's what it's all about here, folks. It still amazes me to do that. People started telling me they like my voice. They thought I was funny, entertaining, and I'm a humble dude at heart. But it started realizing I got some reach. I can make a difference. Why not open this up, have podcasts like the WrestleSense podcast every Thursday at 9 p.m. when we talk wrestling, pro wrestling, and independent wrestling with some of my friends that have been in the business every Thursday night. That was fun. The Get Blazed talk show started where you guys from the digital wrestling side could shoot the crap, talk trash, come in and just meet me and talk in or out of character. And it was fun. But I decided I wanted to take that another level. And it really took off last year when I started doing Red Zone streams, NFL watch-alongs. Last week, we talked to the Gridiron Blitz and Troxel Sports streams from here on YouTube. Those guys grew their channels in lightning fast from being consistent, from being entertaining, and being unique. Those are 3 things you definitely got to have here on YouTube. We talked about it before. If you go to the YouTube search bar and type in Blaised Radio, you're only going to find me. And it was about radio, my voice. It wasn't about my face and my big nose and my big ears and all that stuff. I've been made fun of. It don't matter. I always say, whether you're laughing with me or at me, you're smiling. And that's what it's all about, is bring a smile to some people, give people what I like to call escapism. No matter what's ailing you or what's bringing you down, I want to give you a safe space to come in and have some fun. And it's an all-inclusive channel, I say. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are, where you are, or how you're doing. You're more than welcome here on the Blaised Radio Network on YouTube. So I welcome everybody. If you're watching live, thumbs up. If you're watching the replay, leave me a comment. Let me know you stopped by. That's how you do it here on YouTube. I've never been a big guy on numbers and, begging for subs or begging for likes. If you put out good content, it normally happens. Now, that is the name of the game. So I do remind people on a regular basis, because people come in and out and in and out and in and out of the show. I always say, whether you're here for 1 second, 1 minute, 1 hour, the whole damn show, it's much appreciated. Except if your name's Monstar Sports and Entertainment. That's my boy. That's right. Oh, you're going to make me do Snow, aren't you, Informer? Say that I miss no me, I go blam. A licky boom boom down. Take the man and say that I miss no me, stab someone down the land. I could go back old school. Come on, man. Oh, come on. Well, more than this white boy rapping. I was actually in. I'll reveal something I've never talked about here on the channel. We're going to get to Big Daddy Beard here in a second. I like to create a little bit of intensity. You got to make you wait. back in 8th grade, I was part of a rap group called Rock City Fresh. My boy was a DJ, and I had a Casio keyboard, which had a sampling button on it. That's 1987. For those who want to know how old I am, I'm a Leo. We'll talk about Leo gang in a little bit too. I'm 49 years old in a couple weeks. I ain't afraid to admit it. But I was the Casio kid. I was the guy that just hit a beat every once in a while, stood there with a Casio around my neck. And we also used the sample button. So we used the sample button to record their voices and put it in our song. We had 2 songs. We had 1 song. It was fun. And we did it. We performed one time, 8th grade talent show, and that was about it. So other than that, that's my background. That's how I got here. And now with the community that I've built, I want to reach out. I want to let people know what I did to help me be what I like to think is pretty successful around here. And the same thing, all the failures that I've had, things that I've made mistakes and how I've overcome them. Some of you guys out there may or may not know I've dealt with a lot of health issues that keep me here on a regular basis. But now to be able to use this platform to reach out, whether it's the Blaze card streams for collectors, the wrestling stuff, the podcast, and now this, I have dipped into so many different communities to build my community. And we talked about before, there's a community for everything, a trucker community, a scratch off community for people just scratching off tickets, a gardening community. And that's, once again, try to find another channel that does pro wrestling and gardening. I dare you. I think I'm the only one. And I ain't ashamed of it. We call it the seasoned garden, the rookie seasoned gardener, which just to play on words, you know how we do it around here. I say WWW stands for wit, wordplay, and wisecracks. I say the 3 I's for this channel are idiots, idioms, and innuendo. Out of sight of sarcasm, that's leaning towards death wrestling. That's the Blaised Radio Network. But now it's time to get blazed. Before we get into it, and I was going to save this stuff for a little later, but I've done these old school commercials. So let's have a little fun. Kick it off with a commercial, a gaming commercial. You guys, some of you older people out there, 30s, late 30s, 40s, 50s may remember some of these commercials. I can reach back because, hey, 80s commercials aren't really copywritten for the most part, so I can play them. So let's have some fun. We'll be right back with our first segment and bring on our special guest, Big Daddy Beard. Stay tuned.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Watch Zelda.
Brand new, just hot off the presses. There you have it. So we'll come back. I got another couple commercials to play later on and have some fun with it. Without further ado, let's bring on the man of the hour. One of the guys I'm so glad to have met here on YouTube. And take it for what it's worth, people. I bring these people on because they're real, because they're unique content creators, and I know we can have some fun. So here we go. Mr. Big Daddy Beard is in the house. What is up, my friend? Great to have you on the show.
What's poppin', Blaze? How you feeling? How you living? What's going on with everybody in the chat?
I love it.
Gang season in full effect. You know, I had to do it.
Yes, sir.
I had to come up here. You know,
I love it. I love it. I love it. And that's one thing I do like to talk about. And you already did it. You said it in the chat. You have your sayings. You have your ways to really engage your audience. How you feeling? How you living is great. I love that. And you got to have your own spiel here on YouTube, man. Keep it real, but be unique, right?
That's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's just about being unique, creative, innovative, giving something people to look forward to and to keep them engaged and entertained so that they continue to keep coming back. Like you want them to treat your platform like it's something that's just worldwide, you know, a phenomenon. That type of seance. So that's what you want to aim for at the end of the day.
I even said it too when I on the last stream, and I revealed that when I was a kid, I was the guy who was like pretending I was being on my own little before reality shows and trying to act it out and be, so it's weird to finally be using a lot of things in my background, my sports background, playing basketball, my music background, my professional background, being a manager, being able to organize all this stuff. It's not easy. People don't see behind the scenes. I always say anybody can press that live button and go live, but you gotta do your homework. And I did my homework, so we're gonna have some fun with this. Segment number 1. Let's get back to the basics, y'all. Here we go, right after this. All right, first segment, here we go. And we'll get more in depth about a lot of other things. But right now, I just want to give you a little chance to tell us a little bit about your channel and what you do on it.
Okay, so the name of the channel is Big Daddy Beer Gaming Promotions. I started about 3.5 years ago, I would say towards the end of 2018, and it's been growing strong ever since. Funny thing is, it actually started with just one subscriber, myself. I just stayed focused. I just continue to, more so think about how I can make this channel stand out from everyone else that's doing the exact same thing. And, that's no disrespect to anybody else that's doing gaming and streaming and starting a channel similar to mine. But I definitely wanted it to be something, that people could look forward to, that people would be engaged and entertained with. So I wanted to focus more so on doing various gaming, not just one particular title, but titles that people of all ages, ethnicities could watch and enjoy and possibly even play themselves. And as I continue to keep growing with the channel, I'm just finding more and more ways to get creative with all these different games that I come across and that I have within my digital catalog. So I'll do stuff that's, interactive. I'll do things that are set up kind of like a movie or like a television show where people can come in and they can actually play alongside me through their devices. I'll do party games. I'll do a little bit of everything just to keep everybody entertained, even, with the stuff that may necessarily not have them involved, but just to keep them intrigued. Like, oh man, look at this game. Look at that game. I never heard of this. I never saw this. I didn't even know they had a game out for this.
Yeah.
That's my objective, to just keep bringing you great gaming and just show you everything that comes with it and how amazing and how far it's transcended from where it was back in the day when we had the little joystick, Atari and the old Nintendo and Sega Genesis. So that's my objective right there.
We're gonna talk old school, new school. We're gonna dip more into detail about what you just explained when we get into our little show and tell segment and a lot of the questions that we give. Jamar Games in the house. Great to see you, my friend, as always. And I've mentioned this a bunch of times. If you're new to the channel, I am not a gamer. I'm a guy who NBA jams, NBA live, but I don't play the wrestling game. I've been streaming here for almost 5 years. I've never played the game, because it gives you that creative aspect where the people create their characters. We let them fight against each other. And it's all about my commentary. I want to make it fun and wild, sing like an idiot, make a fool of myself, make it entertaining. And just like you said, be unique. So we'll get into a lot of the detail on the types of games and some of the podcasts that you do over there as well, because it's really, really, number one, engaging and very unique and creative. Second question here, and back to the basics and our basics for this Get Blaised, as we're going to get blazed. I always tell people that has nothing to do with drugs. We ain't sparking L's or nothing. Getting blazed is about hanging out with your boy Blaise and experiencing what I want to bring to the table. People always say that, I get blazed. Well, hey, smoke them if you got them. It's to each his own. So for the second part of this basics, the Blaise basics, just tell us a little bit about how you got started as a content creator.
So, believe it or not, I actually had no desire on even becoming a YouTuber or a content creator. I know on my channel, it does show that I've been active since 2012. That was more so me just getting on YouTube and just watching videos, sharing stuff, the whole 9 yards. So the way it came about was I actually still have this job to this day. I'm still a current employee. I work with this company called the Global beta test network. And
Cool.
so what it is they set you up with video games that you download to your system, and then you have to sign in through your Discord account. And then what they do is they let you actually play the game before they even release it out into the market. So you're in there with a bunch of other people that are doing the exact same thing as you, and you're just watching how everybody is just coming together, they're connecting. You're playing in the same game with everybody. It's just one big interactive forum for everyone to connect, to get acquainted and whatnot. And so I still do that to this day. It's kind of slow now because it hasn't been too many titles. I think the last one I did was Tom Clancy, The Division 2. So prior to that, I was doing it and I was just seeing how fascinating it was, how everybody's just coming together and how big the gaming community has transcended over the years. And so I remember my cousin, Travis Givens, Merge Baby, for those who know him, big shout out to him. He was in my first Battle of the Beats episode. He was the one that kept telling me, hey, Jay, you should really consider like starting a channel and, you know, going full throttle with your gaming, because he's always been a fan of just all the different games and my skill level when it comes to gaming. And I was like, I don't know. I don't think anybody really wants to see me, you know, sitting there just playing games and stuff. Because I more so do it, you know, for, you know, the casualty. But he was like, hey, I'm telling you, you got to do this. Like, you know, this is big, you know. Like, and he just started showing me, you know, different people that were doing it. And so, you know, as I'm watching, as I'm learning, I spend more time on YouTube, you know, more so I strayed away from just watching videos and actually just kind of studying and researching different content creators and what they were doing. And I'm like, oh, okay, especially gaming. I'm like, oh, okay, so wow, maybe I was wrong. Maybe people really are in tune with this, and this really is a big thing. Mm-hmm. So after prolonging for a couple months, I eventually went back to him. I said, all right, look, Trav, I'm gonna go ahead and do this channel. But one condition though, I'm not going to do it and just end up being like everybody else. I don't want to be a here today, gone tomorrow type of person. Sir. I want to be someone that people know, they acknowledge, they respect, they recognize, and, you know, they can see the content for what it is and really, you know, build that admiration and that, you know, inspiration to want to go out and do the exact same thing, even if it's not necessarily gaming, just to go out and just prove to people that you can go from nothing to something. And so I went ahead and started it. It started off very slow, and that was only because I was still kind of getting used to the algorithm and everything that comes with it. But over the course of time, I started meeting more people, like such as yourself and others. I started making more and more connections, just building rapport. And, you know, here I am to this day. So,
hey, man, you hit some of the most important points. And this is why me and BDB get along really well. Studying YouTube. I talked about it last time. 6 months before I went live, I was studying this, watching not only the wrestling gaming, but other stuff and anything I could find just to find out. I studied moderators, what people were doing in a live chat, how they set up their channels. I watched a bunch of different videos on people that were YouTube specialists and would tell you how to do this and how to do that. I love that stuff. Yeah. And I remember used to seeing all these clips of these games where people were doing the shooting game stuff. They're just clowning on people. And those little clips got big back in the day. And I was like, I can do silly stuff too, man. Yeah. And Big Daddy Beard, you got the personality that you can get along. You're kind of like me. You can get along with anybody. And I used to say in my business, and when I taught my employees how to sell stuff, I said, whether they're 8 or 88, you got to treat them. You know, if it's an old lady, treat them like she's your grandma. If it's a couple young kids, treat them as like your kids. You know, a couple people your age, treat them like your boys. You know, stuff like that, and connect. That's the word. And I mean, there's so many ways to grow your channel, and organically, I think is the best way, in my opinion. If you're creative and you are doing the right thing, it'll happen. It'll happen. That's amazing. You mean you hit every. I had a friend actually back in the day. He worked for Xbox. This is way back, and he was a beta game tester. And I was like, damn, that's so lucky. And he actually got to go to like the home. This is right when Xbox like first started decades ago. So I'm like, that is really cool. Like I never thought that I'd be on here doing this type of stuff. But like I said, and like you said, you want to give back if I'm going to do anything. So I mentioned watching some of these YouTube tips and tricks and stuff like that. I'll be the first to admit I'm no expert. I've made a bunch of mistakes along the way, changed my channel a million times, how I organized it and reorganized it and stuff. If you look in the live chat, every 5 minutes, Big Daddy Beard's channel is going to be dropped in there. If you're not subscribed to him, you're doing it wrong. That's all I have to say, because this dude got it going on. And I always do this too. You know, there's a lot of people out there, subscribe. here's the way I look at it. There used to be a thing called magazines. Remember those? And the thing was, if you liked that magazine, you subscribed to it and you kept getting it. So if you go to a channel and you like what they got going on, click the subscribe button. It's free. Hit the thumbs up. It's free. The numbers make a difference. And one thing I've always done here, and I will do it as long as I do YouTube, is I want to, people in the live chat, they want to hear their names. They want their shout outs, you know. So Michael Rice is in the building. Big shout out to you for hanging out. Seen you around the streams everywhere. Good to see you again. Braves fan in the building. Good to see you as well. I'm a big sports fan, but I don't hold anybody's sports preferences against them. You know, some people are like, I'm a Steeler fan. If you're a Browns fan, I can't stand you. But I do joke about the little turd emoji down here as my Browns logo. So I'll have fun with it. Triple Beat is in the house. Beetleborgs is here. Another streamer on YouTube. He does a great job. Angie Styles is in the house. We got people from both communities. That's what it's all about, man. Those who know BDB and those who have been on my channel, we want to share the love. We want to, you know, learn together, if you will. Now I'm going to bring up your page, and there's really not a lot as I share this page. You can see Big Daddy Beard, and we'll talk about a little bit later too, has a graphic designs background. He still does it, you know, and I do too. And I can tell aesthetically when someone wants to make their channel pop and make it, you know, engaging. We're going to talk a little bit more about the games, but like I said, I'm not an expert, but you have your merchandise down here in your shorts. That's dope. That's perfect. You have all your uploads here, tons of videos. Here's the question though. You have playlists, and I found this out along. There's not a lot. I'm not trying to critique or say anything that's wrong. Everyone does their channel the way they want to do it. But there's certain things that help the channel out. Like if you look down on my stream here, it says podcast and interview with a little blue and a hashtag. That helps people find your channel. I didn't learn that until like last year. Now, the first two hashtags in your description will immediately be put above your title so people can find you better. I already talked about making a unique channel name so that, and test it out. I sat there for days just typing out names in the YouTube search bar to make sure mine came up first when you typed it. And that's important. When I did those Red Zone streams, I used to go and go to YouTube and type in Red Zone, see if I was in the top 10. And sure enough, whenever you get a lot of likes in the beginning of your stream, it does push it up. The algorithm does. And BDB mentioned it also. Algorithm means a lot. And I'm not talking about subscribers or, you know, likes or views, which those are important. Don't get me wrong. But whether you got 10 subscribers, 100, 1,000, 10,000, it's the content that matters. You know, many channels have blown up for a million different reasons. So the only thing I would say is there is a way to get the playlist on your main page. And I have a variety of stuff. So I need to rearrange mine because now in my podcast playlist, I have 5 different podcasts. I need to split those up. So that's the only thing I would say is put I think it's right on your YouTube studio. You can put your playlist right on the front because they need to see the diversity of your channel, man. The only other thing, because he's got a hell of a community tab. He knows how to use that, channels that he's associated with, and a really good about. This is important. And if you're out there, keywords throughout here: competitive, interactive, promote, skills, talents, business. I don't know if it was on purpose or you were just explaining what you do. This is ideal, man. You got to have those important keywords in your description. That helps people find your channel. And that's big on YouTube. But BDB knows what he's doing. He's got the gaming, tons of gaming. We'll talk about that. His own business promotion, which is brilliant on here. I kind of do the same thing for my my TeePublic store for some of the logos I was just creating for wrestlers. And then the podcast end, which I've really jumped into and really enjoy. Other than that, on the main page, you can do an intro video. Like I have an intro video explaining what I do, telling them real quick. It's like a minute or two. And that's when you have a new person come to your channel, that's the first thing that starts to play. So, and if you guys haven't seen, you go right on my channel. Right now I'm live. You're not going to see that. And this is my channel. But under customized channel, you can bring up where you can put your playlist on your main page. And there is a video. There is a video that will play if you're new to that channel and you've never been to that homepage. So you can customize, just like you do the join video. You can have a join video, which explains what your channel membership's all about. You put a channel intro there. I think, especially because you're so diverse, if you have a little intro video for a minute, just saying, hey, this is BDB, this is what I do, this is what I'm here, it really attracts more people. And then you'll see every day I pop into my channel, I'm like, there's another couple of people that just saw my channel because the views go up on that intro video. But oh man, this dude got it going on. He does a lot of the things, and I'm jealous because I can't play games. I'm not good at the games. My brother Jeff, I've talked about him all the time. He does a lot of the music I play on my channel for his bands that he was in, but he was the one that he played Zelda and beat it. He played Contra and beat it with one guy, stuff like that. Like Unreal, Mario, all of them right through, wins every game. The one story I love telling is, I don't know if it was Bases Loaded or RBI Baseball. It's an old baseball game, right? And baseball, it's a long season. So my brother, I think it's the original Nintendo. It could have been a second one or something, but he had the whole season done in the final game. And here's me come into the room. Oh, baseball. I played his final game. And he came into the room when the ending credits with the fireworks and stuff were coming up. The game was over. He was like, what did you just do? I was like, I just played a baseball game. He was like, you didn't have to play with my login. You could have just played an exhibition. He's like, you ruined my whole season. I was like, I'm so sorry.
And those seasons, like you said, are extremely long. That's not even including the playoffs.
And that's speaking of playoffs, I have my little tidbits in here. I love throwing my videos up here. Are we speaking about playoffs?
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs?
My favorites. I love these little things. I use StreamYards to its fullest. I thank my members a million times over because normal StreamYards is free. If anyone wants to do this, get the free StreamYards. You get like 20 hours a month and you can do it. But when I started getting a membership, I didn't want to do memberships because I couldn't justify people paying money to me if I wasn't giving them something back. So when I realized that the extended version of StreamYards was like $20-25 a month, and it gives you more people in the chat, more videos and stuff, I was like, okay, let me try memberships. And I let them make matches and stuff like that on my shows because I want to give them stuff back. I mean, and that's why I only have the dollar level too and stuff like that too. So make one real affordable for everybody. You did the same thing, and then have one for people who want to donate more. And I always say, if you can't donate, I mean, there's more currency. Consistency and involvement is currency. Your views matter. That's money to us. So if you can't afford to give me money, don't worry about it. I don't want to beg or ask for money. If you super chat, I appreciate it. There's no obligation to come to our streams, man. You know what I mean? You don't have to pay to come in here. It's free. So I respect the people come in here, man. And I give them the shout outs and try to reach them off. Told my mods too, if I ever miss someone in chat, you let me know so I can shout them out. And you brought it up earlier about, taking your time and learning about it first before you start. It's practice.
I mean, listen, we talking about practice, not a game. We talking about practice.
Yeah. Iverson's my boy. Jordan,
Classic.
you got Dr. J, MJ, and Iverson are three of my favorites. And we'll talk about favorites in our second coming up here soon. But when people come to these streams for whatever reason, why are they here? It doesn't matter. Maybe they're here for this reason.
Hey, I'm just here so I don't get fined. So y'all can sit here and ask me all the questions y'all want to. I'm going to answer with the same answer. So
yeah, see? If you're not having fun with it, man, you gotta have fun with this stuff, and that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
I'm here so that they don't tell me that I'm ineligible for monetization on these videos. So.
Yeah. and also, I like to clown on myself. You ever see those? I think it's called Wombo or whatever. It makes your face sing the song or something. So I don't mind clowning on myself. It's my wrestling avatar.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down.
To rickroll you a little bit there. How's that make you feel?
Wow, I feel good.
Woo!
That is classic.
I told you this is going to be a fun one, man.
Oh,
you got to dig deep. You got to dig deep and have some fun with it. Hey, speaking of old school games, how about Tecmo Bowl? I love Tecmo Bowl. Check this out. I added that one because when I do my NFL streams, I wanted, how when people use OBS, which is coming to this channel now that I got my upgrade, they have like a football guy come up or something come over here and all these animations. I was like, how can I use StreamYards to really make it different? You know, so I added all these little commercials and all these little tidbits to kind of liven it up, you know. And if you don't like it,
if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Yeah, let them off the hook. Those are some of my favorite quotes. My other one, I don't have a video for it, but the old Oklahoma State coach who said, "I'm a man, I'm 40, come at me, don't come at," you know, those are classic, man.
Yes, they are.
And then when I do basketball, I did a couple basketball streams. I'd love to do more because I love calling basketball. It's one thing when you're a kid, I was always sitting at the TV doing my own commentary and having fun like that. So, and this happened. You got to have a little fun with it, right? That's enough of that. You know, we'll do a little more of that as we go, but we're just starting. We're going to get blazed and we're heating up.
He's heating up. He's on fire.
Woo! We are on fire tonight. We're going to have some fun here, people. We're going to keep it up. We're going to take it to the next level. We're going to find out what you like. Ooh, do what you like. That's an old Digital Underground jam I used to love, but let's have a little commercial break first.
We'll return after these messages.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Genesis does.
16-bit arcade graphics.
You can't do this on Nintendo. Genesis does.
16-bit sports action.
You can't do this on Nintendo. Genesis
does.
Genesis
does.
Genesis
does.
Genesis
does.
Genesis does.
Get Joe Montana free, Pat Riley free, Buster Douglas free, Super Monaco GP free, or Columns free. What Nintendo don't. Buy a 16-bit Genesis system between now and October 31st and get an extra game.
Now that's old school.
Man, I remember that. Oh, that's what made me want to get a Genesis. I remember sitting there watching that commercial and just yelling, "Mom! Genesis! What? The book of Genesis? No, not the Bible. Genesis." Nigga.
That commercial's raw too. It's like Genesis does.
Yeah.
F you, Nintendo. Genesis does. Screw you, Nintendo. It's right in their face, man.
Do you remember the old school one where they had Toe Jam and Earl? They were kind of like MCing in the background, and I think it was like an advertisement for Sonic when it first came out, and it was like, "Gotta get a Genesis." I'm like, oh man, I loved it.
Yes, there was a lot of when and we're going to talk about old school when hip hop really took off back then. We had the corny rap jingles that people would always throw on their commercials, and man, that's okay. Hey, tell me if you had one of these.
The dog ate it.
It's my brother's holding it for ransom. Aliens ransacked my room.
My printer's down.
You won't need excuses for losing your schoolwork with the Trapper Keeper, because Trapper's special folders and pockets keep an amazing amount of work organized, secure, and right where you want it.
It's on the spaceship to Pluto.
The one and only Trapper, only from Mead.
Oh man! And
yeah,
I was crazy when I would talk about them. What the hell is a Trapper Keeper? Like, you never heard of a TK? Where you been? Oh man,
Trapper Keeper.
I used to love those.
Hell yeah, it's the beginning of my organizational skills right there, man. I was like, wow, I wanted to make my own Trapper Keeper with all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah,
Yeti, wild-eyed Yeti in the building. Everyone's like, yeah, everyone's loving the OC. Yeah, Trapper Keeper. Beetleborgs loves these commercials as well. Yeah. And when I found out those are fair game and non-copywritten, I was digging deep into those 80s commercials to have some fun with it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, time for our next segment. So we're going to dig a little bit deeper into what you like. Yeah, my basic beat once again. There you go.
Like I said, don't enough for BLB3.
So in this segment, we're gonna I always joke because the old Digital Underground song, "Do What You Like." That's a old school Digital Underground. We're gonna go so old school. I can't wait to the show and tell. You're gonna love that. But first, a couple questions here. We're gonna go pretty quick just through some of your favorite things. So, what's your favorite part about being a YouTuber?
Favorite part, honestly, just getting set up, making sure everything is intact, hitting that live button, and just kind of going through my monologue and watching people come in and hear them quote like my phrases, or like the "we out here" or the "how you feeling, how you living," flex on them. Even like my lady, she's in here too. Like, hey baby, she'll like, I've seen her do the little like arm thing when I get hyped up playing certain games. So it does humble me when people show that love and that appreciation, and they quote some of the things that I do, or they'll even put their own little twist on it. Like, that's really amazing. But
Imitation's a form of flattery, bro. Definitely.
Exactly. And like I tell everybody, like, the same way I am on camera, I'm the same way off. And that's what it's about. Like, you can't put on a front or an act or pose as someone completely different when you're on this platform. The same person that you are when you hit that record button, be that same person as soon as that red light goes off, because that's what they want to see. They want to see the real you. So everything you see me doing, the singing and the when I get real pissed off when I think I done won or I lost, or whatever the case is, and like my lady, she imitates me all the time. She be like, "You jumped, babe?" I'm like, "I jumped. You saw me." Like, a Mario stream, and I literally, like, I had invincibility, and they cheated me too because I jumped over one of the little like hurdles. It glitched, and I went right through the box, and it made me drop into the ditch. I'm like, "No, come on!" Like, I jumped. She was like, "You jumped." Like, I jumped. It. So that type of stuff, it humbles me, and it just keeps me going, knowing that people are looking forward to what I'm getting ready to do, whatever it might be. So
it's such a great feeling, and that's an amazing answer, because I feel the same way. Like, I get a little antsy, I get a little butterflies when I'm about to go live. Not at first, it was first year or two, I was scared. I was worried about the audio, I was worried about this, I was worried about that. But now it's like butterflies, man. I can't wait to see these people again, because you made some great connections, some even more connections than other. Like, you meet people all over. You never know. We got Jose Blanco in the building. Great to see you. Money Drop Clay in the building. What up, Money? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you guys. Hit that thumbs up, share it out. And if anybody's watching a replay, definitely leave me a comment so I know you stopped by. All right, flip the coin. I am Mr. Devil's Advocate. Whether I agree on it or not, I've always been taught to look at everything at both sides, or multiple sides if you can. Learn from tons of people and pick what you like about all of them, then create your own. And of course, be yourself was such a great answer. My wrestler, Blaise McCoy, had a fishing gimmick. He was the hick from the sticks. So what I used to say is hook, line, and sinker was his finishing maneuver. So I'd say keep it real or get reeled in. Hook, line, and sinker. So I use that for people who would go off in the chat. Someone who's coming in and trolling a little bit, I used to compare that to my sales world. If someone come into my store and I'm a salesman and they say, "I want this, 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 and this," and buy it, you're just clerking. You're not really doing your job, but you're not going above and beyond. Someone comes in and says, "You sold me a piece of junk and I hate this company and this and that," and you flip that customer to leave happy and buy stuff. That's amazing. That's what it's all about, to try to flip that. So now let's flip it. What's the worst part about being a YouTuber?
The worst. I think people that pose like they're supporters when they're really just trolls in disguise. Like, I can't stand that. And I would definitely say the dry begging. There's just too much of that. Here's what we all got to understand. This platform is big. Google bought YouTube. They own the rights to them. And remember, Google is the biggest search engine in the world. So just imagine that combination of both of them coming together. YouTube's already big in its own right. Google's just as big. Now they're even bigger. That merger is amazing. So there's no reason for anybody to have any type of negative shade or envy or animosity towards the next person. We're all doing the same thing. We're all on here to unify, grow, come together. So why is it that you have to throw shade like a 5 o'clock shadow to the next person for whatever silly reason? What, they might have more followers than you, or this live stream that they did might pop off a little bit more than yours. Learn from them and figure out what they're doing that you can apply, but just put your own twist on it and make it creative. That's all it is. Instead of just going in there and trolling and throwing shade and trying to kill the vibe of the stream. I've had several people, like, I mean, I hate to even call them YouTube beefs, but because they're not even really beef, but there's a few people.
Everyone has.
Yeah, whose names I will not say, but
no, respect.
They know who they are, but it's just like, come on, like don't throw shade at the next man or woman for what they're choosing to do. They could be doing the exact opposite. They could be dead right now in jail, even worse. We're all coming together to do something amazing and entertain. That's what we are. We are entertaining content creators. Like, we create content for people to be entertained and engaged with. That's what YouTube is. So you're envious or upset about that? Learn from the person. Don't get mad if you only have 2 people pop into your hour-long stream. Be grateful of those people that did come in, because you got to look at it like this. They could have been doing anything else. They could have been anywhere around the world. The fact that they stopped in to see what you're doing and what you're bringing to the table is very important. So humble yourself and be appreciative of that, because they could be doing whatever else. So it's no reason to get upset or feel some type of way or try to, throw rain and storm clouds over what this person is doing. It's not worth it, because those same people that are supporting that person that's rising and elevating, you don't think for a second they won't even have to sick them on you. You don't think they won't come after you and troll you and do what you're doing to them? Like the saying goes, the late great DMX said it, you do dirt, you get dirt. So yeah, what makes sense at the end of the day,
So here's the thing, and that's spot on, the same thing, but I kind of have an answer to why it happens. Let's talk about the other side of the coin first. Yes, people can come and do whatever they want. I've seen the very worst of it. Doxing and swatting, if you know what those are. That's why to be careful how much information you put out there, and watch who your community is. You can get rid of them if you want, but there's actually groups out there that will troll and come in to try to find out stuff about you so they can call the cops and say, hey, this YouTuber's talking about killing his kids right now. Next thing you know, police, open up. And I'm like, oh, I've seen it. One of my friends got swatted live. And granted, I've also seen someone who swatted themselves to get views. So they had someone call the cops. I mean, that's goes back to the other stuff and addresses. People just post an address to dox them and, throw all their info out, or they find something about you and want to use it against you. Another thing I've learned too is mods. I've been in a lot of streams where people are like, oh, you get a jacket and you get a jacket and you get it, and you. What's bad about that, and we talked about this last week, and Gridiron Blitz had an example perfectly. You mod all these people, even when you're not live, they can go into your stream and block all your community. And unless you go in your analytics and look at your blocked people, you don't know that. I've seen someone come back to your stream like, where the hell is everybody? I don't understand where everybody is. And they look, one of my mods banned everybody. All right, all the wrenches are gone. We're going to start fresh. So my advice is, and we'll get to advice a little later more, learn who the people are before you mod them. I know people, that's how Gridiron said. That was the only way I could reward people, give them a wrench. But you don't want to give the wrench to the wrong person, because they can do that stuff. See, Beetleworks, of course. Yes, sir. He nailed it. And ignore the trolls. That's the thing. Here's why. You answered your question. And that's probably a lot of content creator YouTubers would say the worst part about it is the people, some call it trolls and assholes. I've heard someone call them or whatever because it rhymes. And I'm like, okay. Anonymity is the problem. YouTube needs to solve this. Link it to your ISP. Link it to a bio or something because I can create 5 channels right now that are BDBGP. And I'll put your picture on there. I'll come into your chat and pretend I'm you. And unless someone goes into that channel and sees, well, this dude just started this channel 5 minutes ago. Oh, it's probably a troll. A lot of people don't know. I've seen people do that so many times from, like Big Daddy Beard said, studying the game before you get into it. And the anonymity of YouTube, I wish would change. If I could change one thing, that would be it.
Oh, yeah.
Can't hold them accountable. People can come in and say whatever they want. I don't have rules. I don't have rules to my channel either, because trolls will see the rules and they'll break. That's exactly what they'll do.
Yeah, I'm the same way. My basic rule is just respect me and everybody that's coming in, showing continuous love and support. If you can't do that, I have no place for you here, and neither do I.
Yep.
I'm always willing to give people a chance first and see and analyze how they are before, you know, I start to see certain things. And if I see it and I just feel like, okay, and even if my people are telling me, hey, I don't know about this person, I don't know about that person.
Yep.
I will listen to them, or I will just trust my inner judgment and just get rid of them. That's the thing, people, too. You guys realize you can get rid of these people. It's not like, oh, you know, I can't do anything about it. Block them immediately. Report them. You know, if you see them dropping certain links that just kind of look suspicious or throw you off, like there's so many ways to get rid of these people who you feel in your heart of hearts are trying to troll or just trying to throw off the energy or the feng shui of what you're doing with your content on this platform. So it's not hard to do, but you just got to kind of pay attention to the snakes in the grass and make sure you keep it nice and cut so that you know you're slithering around. That's it.
Yes, sir. And this is another one. And Monstar Sean's got a great idea, a great point. Thick skin, man. You got to have that thick skin, and you got to be able to brush it. When I first started, I was upset, you know, whenever people come in and say stuff, and I didn't want to block nobody. But I've also learned too that my humbleness turned in a lot of confidence too, because I'm not wasting my time on anybody who don't want to spend time with me. So if someone's just coming in to screw around, get lost. I don't have time. I got better things to do. Exactly. So there's a lot of things, but you hit some great points. Now this next question, we're only going to do half of it because we're going to hit the other part later. We talk about music. We'll talk about music during the show and tell. I want to know your favorite movies. You can do up to 3 if you have. And I know you always do the top 5s and the Mount Rushmores and stuff on your channel. I love that stuff. People really dig that. They want to come in and give you that stuff. So top 3 movies of all time of yours, up to 3.
Man,
you need a 4th, you can. The rules aren't, you know, whatever. Just give me your favorite 3 movies.
Oh man, okay.
Or just 3 you think about.
Okay.
You guys in the chat play along. Favorite movie?
There's so many.
Yeah, I know.
Comedy and horror are my 2 favorite genres.
Give me one from each.
If I had to say, just one that just comes off the top, only because I can pretty much recite it from start to finish. I gotta say, Coming to America. That's one.
Yes. Do you like the second one? Did you like the one they just, or the third or whatever one they just, didn't they bring out another one recently?
They're doing the third one. I don't know why. I knew they were going to try to turn that into a franchise, and I was just, you know, telling everybody, I'm like, when certain things are just pure gold, don't touch it.
No.
Gold. You know,
there was talk of redoing Ferris Bueller. I was like, no, don't.
No.
Leave that stuff. That's one of my favorites.
Do not do Ferris. Like, I mean, it's for what?
I'm looking at my DVDs, right? We're going to talk about actual media, which has changed very soon too. But I'm looking at my movies too. So, you know, what about horror movies? What's your favorite horror movie? You said this.
So, you know, it's so funny that you say that, because this most previous podcast that I did was actually about the villains of horror. Yes. And I touched on a lot of the topics from the movies to the villains. I don't know if you're familiar with that Versus platform.
Yeah, the rap battles. I love it.
So I told people, you know, if you could take all of the villains of horror and place them into like a Versus style, which matchups would you want to see? You know, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's good."
We had Jason Freddy, that movie and stuff, so that's kind of the, that type of stuff.
And that's where the idea stemmed from. Even Alien versus Predator was the same exact thing. And so everybody was just saying like, "Oh, I love to see like Jason and Michael Myers go at it, or like Freddy and Leprechaun." So you know, horror. There's a couple. Oh, you know what? Nutty Professor, the first one.
Okay, there you go.
Another one. I can recite.
That's a good. Hell yeah. Yeah, there's some of those movies that are like that. They're so classic. You can just rattle. Caddyshack's another one. You know, back in the day, I know all the words to a lot of the stuff.
Caddyshack.
Good Beverly Hills Cop, Sandlot, and Dodgeball Beatles has good ones.
You know,
I just saw Goonies on TV the other day. I did. I can watch that. And Gremlins was on the other day too. I forgot how cool that movie was.
Yeah, you know what? I might have to say Dodgeball just because I saw somebody say it.
Yeah,
number one. I love Sandlot. Horror.
Favorite horror movie.
Favorite.
I did watch that stream. I didn't catch you live for that one, but I definitely watched the replay and I enjoyed it. I love watching people put in what their favorites were.
Thank you. Even though it's still tough to watch, but I can get through it now a lot better. When I was younger, I gotta say Puppet Master.
Puppet Master, good one.
And Nightmare on Elm Street, but more so the older ones. Now when they started making Freddy all goofy and silly, but if I had, that's probably my favorite. But Puppet Master like right there, they're like neck and neck. So yeah.
You remember the Fresh Prince song "Nightmare on My Street"?
Yeah. They did Freddy's Dead.
Red Dawn, yes. I love both Red Dawns. I live right near the mountains here in southwestern Pennsylvania. If you ever watch my garden streams, I show the mountains, and I always plan out. Red Dawn happens, I'm living in the mountains. I got a couple friends up there. I'm gonna go chill with, hide out. All right, on the same idea here, and I know you've covered this stuff as well. Favorite superhero and or villain?
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was going to say you can't see mine. He's up there, but Spider-Man is my boy. We did a Legion of Dork show on him.
The GOAT.
He covers all the bases: movies, TVs, games, cartoons, comic books, everything.
Yeah,
and he's a regular dude that just got a superpower. You know, he's a kid. And I heard your one podcast on that was brilliant when you were talking to all the people that were Batman, Superman. You justified Spider-Man, and I was down with you. I was right along with you.
Yeah, that was the Marvel versus DC episode. Yeah, we had a ball with that because so many people came in and they just touched on the topic. We definitely had a lot of like on and off debates. It was dope. Like I absolutely loved it. I know the podcast is coming.
What about a villain? What about a villain? Who's your favorite villain, if you can name one?
Man, there's a couple. I'm trying to remember. If I had to name one off the bat, he's in the Spider-Man universe. I gotta say Carnage.
Yeah,
Carnage.
Yeah, very cool. Cool villain, if you will. Very, I like that. All right. We got, and you guys in the chat, keep chiming them out. If you got favorites, superheroes or villains. We talk a lot about that on the Legion of Dork podcast as well, too, and we cover that stuff. Our first one was He-Man and Transformers, which cover a lot of the bases as far as how they turned from toys to TV and movies to video games. Spider-Man hits every one. And that's why he's my favorite. I always wanted to. I think like half of my Halloweens I was Spider-Man.
The best.
All right, final part of what you like here. The best comment you've ever received on YouTube could be a live comment chat or a DM or a mini story about that someone said or typed that really hit you in the heart or really motivated you, or something that sticks out if you got one.
There's a follower of mine. He hasn't popped up as much in the streams, but he was for a while. Well, he would more so catch the replays. I think he probably still does from time to time. But he was just telling me that he was going through a lot. He was actually like on the verge of like committing suicide. And I still talk to him on and off, like mostly on Instagram. And I feel like I kind of talked him out of not going in that direction and just, telling him like, look, you have this God-given talent. You have this amazing skill, which is being on this platform and everything else you're doing, and people love it. Like, you've made a name for yourself. You went from the whole nothing to something. So why would you want to throw it all away when you're on such a high road right now? Like I said, there's tons of bumps in the road, but you're doing it. And this is what I tell everybody. This is like kind of one of my newer quotes. I'm like, you can't have the drive if you allow yourself to remain in park.
Amen.
So basically, it's like switch into that gear and go. There's going to be bumps. There's going to be ditches. There's going to be people trying to hitchhike and, lifting their leg up and stuff. $5, baby. Like, no, don't put your asses up. Keep going. Keep cruising, like that Smokey Robinson song. He made a song about it.
Yes, sir.
Baby,
yes, sir.
Cruise.
I can't wait till show and tell. I'm gonna blow your mind on show and tell. We're gonna have so much fun. I mean, we're having fun, but that's a serious thing. And I do want to bring a couple things up to go along with that. And that's heartfelt. I'm a very emotional person. I've cried on the stream. I'm not ashamed to do it. I'm a very emotional person. I've gone through a lot of crazy crap in my life. But it's the resiliency. It's what you come back that matters.
Yeah.
I've lost some friends to suicide. Hurting yourself, taking your own life is never the answer. No matter what you're going through or what you're going through now, I say that all the time. I want to take it away for a little bit here on the channel. I have a lot of friends in the mental health field that have dealt with it too. And I saw something recently. Yeah, it does get me emotional. I saw something recently that really struck home. The suicide hotline number changed. And if you don't know now, if you've ever had an issue, 988, they make it real easy, like 911. Before it was a real long number and all kinds of stuff. If you don't have someone to talk to, dial that number. there's someone to talk to. It's never too late. No give up, no give in. No matter how far down you go, it's about where you get once you come back up. Everyone's going through something in their life, man. And I remember when I got really, one thing about when I was on YouTube, I wanted to be consistent. I couldn't do it every day because of some health issues that I deal with, but I got real sick a couple years ago and I was gone for a couple of weeks. And it's amazing because people are like, where you been, Blaise? You haven't done your show. And I'm doing 2-3 times a week. And I was off for 2 weeks. And one of my first conversations coming back was Shifty. And you guys know Platinum Dragon Studios out there. We had a conversation for about a half an hour, and it was like, he wasn't just blowing smoke up my ass. He was being real and letting me know, like, you have a great community. You've built this community. Come back when you want to. You know, all these positive messages. And for someone to reach out to you like that, it's just amazing. I don't want to bring everybody down on that subject, but I'm so glad you brought that up. It's a big problem in our society today. And the only thing you do by taking your life is hurt all those you leave behind.
Very true.
So there's always a second chance for everybody, man. Push up, move forward. And that's a great way to end that segment. And we're going to flip it right back to having tons of fun here. But before we get into the next segment, which is our situational questions, I want to take a minute to definitely celebrate the members here on the channel. So we'll be right back. This is my favorite beat I've ever made. Taking old phone noises. A lot of people don't remember the busy signal or ever dealt with one. A lot of kids nowadays never use the rotary phone or everything. So listen to this. This is my favorite beats. Check out as we celebrate and salute the members of the channel.
This is a recording.
Please hang up and try your call again. If you need help, hang up and then dial your operator.
We're sorry. The number you have reached has been disconnected.
There you go.
That's dope. I like that.
I call it temporarily disconnected. Now, there's actually lyrics to it. I did a voice changer and I found out I was toying with that program to make beats. And I was like, let's throw all these old, busy signal stuff that the kids have no clue what they are in there. And I also use LTD is leaning towards death wrestling, but I've also used that acronym for limited temporary disconnect. And that's what we do here on YouTube. We give everyone a temporary disconnect from the world so they can come in here and fantasy world, have fun, forget about your worries, forget about your fears, have fun on our channel. That's what it's all about to me. So one of these days I'll have to play the lyrics to that. It's called Temporarily Disconnected. I overdubbed my voice a couple times so you can't really tell it's me, but I have fun with it. We're going to get into the next segment, but before, one last old school commercial.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Wasn't humanly possible, but now you can have all the power and excitement of Nintendo right in the palm of your hand. Introducing Game Boy. It's portable, it's in stereo, and its games are interchangeable. Plus, Game Boy comes with the outrageous new game, Tetris. And for head-to-head competition, use the revolutionary video link and blow your opponent away. Game Boy, only from Nintendo. Now you're playing with power, portable power.
Oh, Game Boy.
Oh, man. Throwback right there. We need to invent a time machine and just go back and then just break it once we figure out what year we want to do. Like, there's only 2 years I want to go back to, either 98 or I'll probably say maybe 88, maybe. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
A 98 booming with the trunk of funk, as good old
Yes, sir.
Public Enemy used to say. So
Yeah.
now we're getting to the next one. This is DJ Rob Bass and Easy Rock. You remember them? It takes two to make a thing go right, and you got to know the situation that the bass is in. I really got fascinated with the dubstep noises and all the grindings and stuff when I was making beats. I really dig that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Banji boy DJ Arrow for helping me out with that. The man, one of the Battle of the Beats, and we'll be back to know. We're going to be talking about that very soon.
Oh, yeah.
But let's do. Oh, I'm gonna save the show and tell. Let's do the picture association first. And this is you just said you wanted a time machine. Well, let's give you a time machine. Let's take you back to the beginning of Big Daddy Beer Gaming and Promotions, your first live stream.
Oh, man.
And let's celebrate 4 years for BDB, because this is July 20th, 2018, NBA 2K18. I had to grab a little screen grab.
Man. It's been 4? I lost track. I know it was like close to 4 years. I figured it was about maybe 3.5 at the most, but
the 20th was your 4-year anniversary from your first video, homie. There it is. Congratulations. 4 years plus.
Wow.
And it started out, and it's because I tried to find one to catch you in the screen up there, because you weren't on the screen most of the time. I wanted to catch you up there as well.
Yeah.
And a little bit of NBA 2K18 action back in the day.
I feel like Jim Carrey in a mask. You love me. You really love me.
Oh, I dig deep, man. I do my homework. Even with Trox and Grid on the last show, they're like, that's my first YouTube video. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going way back. And Grib is like, he did his Gridiron Blitz did one. Those two guys are from Detroit. We make fun of the Lions with them, of course. But he did his first video in the bathroom. He was like, oh, no, you did it. And he used to do hair loss videos and all this other stuff. And I was like, hey, I want to know how you got started, man. It's, we clown on each other. We have fun. These guys, they're from Detroit, though, and they do football stuff. They're good at taking the heat. So that's what I love about them. When you're a Browns or a Detroit Lions fan, you got to get used to that heat, right? So let's keep rolling here and see what we got here. So I want to dig deep into some of your videos. You gamers out there, this is 4 years ago. Let's look at the variety of the things that BDB has done. Talked about 2K18. I love the old school gaming, like the Uno we've played there before. Tekken, that is one game I will play. Thanks to Shulky, She-Hulk chick, one of my followers got me playing Tekken as well. So these are way back when you first started gaming, a little Friday the 13th, plus a little trivia type games, old school games, Call of Duty. So this is just, I want to go through these slides just to show you guys out there the diversity of BDB when it comes to gaming. Because like I said, I'm not a gamer, but I love watching people game. I love the gaming commentary world has just taken off. Like I said, and all the shorts, the TikTokers and the IG shorts and the YouTube, that's going on. I love seeing people clowning on the games or gotcha, when they shoot somebody and stuff. Yeah. So these were 3 years ago. So now let's move ahead into the time machine here. Now we're about 4 months ago. Once again, look at the variety, guys. I mean, I'm talking Family Feud, which we'll talk about your Family Feud streams in a minute, because I want to clue on those in a minute. And this is when you started, you doing some, episode 5, there's your debate table, which I think is a really cool name for a podcast. And he varies it up and switches it up. It's very cool. Some games that you guys out there might notice and not. And that's what I like about your channel is you're introducing some of the classics, but you're also introducing newer games as well that people might not know. I think it's brilliant what you do as a gamer on your channel. And I'm not just saying that to say it. Let's go 2 months ago. You see Battle of the Beats,
yes,
Blather.
Sir.
All those interactive gaming ones are so fun to me. Those are, I have a couple of Cassie, Madam Red, and a couple other people that do that here too. Those are so interactive, and they actually play the game. And I think those are brilliant. Types of games. Battlegrounds up there. You got Battleground 1 in there. So
yeah, I'm a wrestling head. Yeah.
Guys out there, you can see the diversity. Not one type of game, but just about any type of game that's out there. Let's go a little sooner here. This is a couple weeks. I took this last week when I did this, so it's probably 3 or 4 weeks now. Shredder's Revenge. That's pretty new, isn't it? Is that a newer game? The turtle one?
Yeah, because actually next month, the end of August, the 30th, they're releasing the Ninja Turtle bundle, the Cowabunga bundle. So remember all the old school Ninja Turtle games, Hyperstone Heist, Turtles in Time, Manhattan Project, the original Ninja Turtle game. They're bringing all of those back, and I think it's about like maybe 10 or 15 titles. So they're going to make it co-op and online multiplayer. I already got it pre-ordered. I can't wait because I'm adding it to my Retro Hour collection. So
see, I'm an arcade baby. I'm a quarter guy. Back in the day, I love those 4-man arcade games. The turtle one was one where you got 3 of your buddies, and all 4 of you were the turtles going and fighting. One of my favorite arcade games I always thought was Gauntlet. Same thing. You get 4 people. 4 people fighting and killing people. One's this, one's that. That's amazing. One more of these, and we'll get into the even more detail here. So even newer. These are some of the more recent ones, games that he's done here. A couple days. This is, like I said, about a week ago. But you see the diversity. You see that he's doing different types of games, and as well as different types of podcasts, which I want to get in. So big salute to you, man, for what you do. There's a lot of gamers out there, but I think you have such a unique catalog, I should say, of games that gives you a competitive advantage. That's why, and like I said, I'd never tell anybody how to set up their channel, but if I can help them reach a wider audience, put them playlists on the front, because you have the playlist. You have the old school games, the podcast, the newer games, the interactive movie games. I don't see too many people doing all those, man. I'm sure they're out there, but no one does it like the BDB.
Appreciate that.
Let's get now the Family Feud. I've done a Family Feud stream on here. Give us a little bit of idea. You've ran a couple of these on how you bring people together for these Family Feud streams.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, I did one way back. It was a series with the Zodiacs because, so many people were trashing our sign, Blaise. So, we had to we out here. So I actually featured Blaise on one of my episodes of Family Feud. It was a couple other people. So what I like to do with Family Feud is I like to come up with different ideas that will bring all types of YouTubers in, even people that aren't even on YouTube, just any and everybody that just wants to participate, that just is a big fan of the show, because it's one of my favorite game shows coming up.
Me too.
Like Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, Get the Picture. What's it called? What's the Come On Down, Price is Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So all of those I came up watching them. And so I did one with all of the Zodiacs, the Leo gang versus everybody. And what I did was I allowed all of the different Zodiacs to team up as one group and go against everybody that represents the Leo gang. So that was one, went really well. Big shout out to everybody that allowed me to create that.
Yes, it was a blast.
Yeah. So after that, I did the next series, which was featuring all of the males and females from couples on and off of YouTube. So basically it was guys on one, the girls on one, because I've always loved how, you had that co-ed competitive nature. Because there's always been that thing where, the ladies, we run this, or no, men rule. So I'm like, yeah, we do something with that.
Yep. Everybody
loved that. And I had a ball with that one too. And now what I've done is, big shout out to Kay Lamar too. I don't know if you guys know them or not. They're a really, really dope YouTube couple. I was on their live and they were telling me, they said, BDB, we want to do Family Feud again. Like, we love the whole idea. And we didn't even know, like, you could customize and, set it up in the same format as the actual show, but just feature people on there. So, of course, the gears in my head started turning. I'm like, okay, what can I do? Because I've been wanting to bring it back. And so I said, you know what? I did one with, all the males and the females facing off against each other as a cohesive unit. Let me actually get couples now that I know and have them face off one-on-one, and then kind of mix in, that game show, How to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah.
So what I do is I have everybody in the live chat. All the girls represent for the one female contestant, vice versa with the guys. They serve as the lifeline. So if they're stumped on certain answers to survey questions,
yeah,
they can go to the live chat and ask the people, hey, what do you guys think? What should I do? And then people in the live chat will give their answers, and then I let them choose which answers they want to go with, because it implements the 3-strike rule. So if they don't have an answer, they can go to their lifelines, which are all the females and guys in the live chat, and get answers from them to use, and while they're still facing off against each other in a one-on-one style fashion.
Brilliant. And that's what I talk about all the time, is finding a unique way to involve your audience. And that's what I had to bring up. So we're going to cut through a couple more of these real quick. And you talked about this earlier, movie video game night, where you basically bring these games that walk you through. It reminds me of one of the first, I call it movie game video arcades, Dragon's Lair. Do you remember Dragon's Lair?
Oh,
it was a cartoon, and you got to pick, basically which way you go. And, you saw Oregon Trail and all those from way back in the day that were, pick it. So Big Daddy Beard has taken that to a new level with his movie night game night. So definitely check out when he does these, because you're part of the movie. You're part of the game. And I love those ideas. And the hits keep on coming, people. The debate table has been amazing. That's his podcast that he does different variations of. And just like he said before, he's always coming up with real creative ways to have a podcast. And that is big. Battle of the Beats is a great example. Bringing on people that are creators of music, letting them play their music, having everybody in the chat chime off, get everybody's head nodding, and celebrate those who are out there grinding, making their own music. And a Battle of the Beats 3 is coming soon. We'll get to that a little bit later in the final segment when we talk about what's coming soon. But look at this. How about some gaming consoles? Do you have a favorite of all time? Because this covers every base. I had Pong. I'm a 70s baby, 73. So I had Pong, 1.2 lines. Blip, 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 blip. But this is everything.
I had all for this. This is like 21 gun salute.
I had a 10 bell salute somewhere. I don't have it clued up, so I can't do my 10 bell salute for it. But yeah.
This feels like that Chappelle show skit with Rick James when he had that aura in the background. And you just saw him just like, give it to me, baby.
Oh my goodness.
I just get a glow.
Remember what you just mentioned, because it's show and tell. I won't spoil it. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, this is the Bruce Leroy glow right now. Though.
This is everybody, man. This is everything. So I wouldn't expect anybody to pick one. Hey, listen to this. I had a friend down the street that had ColecoVision, and the other one across the street had Intellivision.
Oh.
So we would go down. I didn't have to buy those. I just went down and played with theirs.
I'm going to definitely say my Mount Rushmore is Sega, PlayStation, Atari, and I gotta say Nintendo.
Yeah, I think I can reach it.
Because Atari was the first one that my dad, he bought me that. And once he put that joystick in my hand, the rest was history. Then I transcended into the old school Nintendo. I had the Duck Hunt gun. I had the Power Glove.
Oh, the Power Glove.
Yeah.
My brother had that. He had that big gun too.
Yeah, I remember that. I had the Nintendo pad, the one with all the numbers where you step on them. Yeah. Yeah.
Old school. Actually, it's one of those emulator games that are for, plug into your TV and play a bunch of old ones. So it's not an original Atari controller, but this is my speed. One button and the joystick. And they also had the ones with the little knob thing. You wanted a time machine. You asked for it. You got it, man. I told you I was taking you back.
There it is.
We're only getting started. Let's talk old school R&B. So we're going to get more into it, but this is just one picture I found. The quality's crappy. If you guys know me, I always get a couple crappy quality ones. So Mount Rushmore, if you will, or just like, and we're going to get a little bit more into it when we talk about the show and tell, as I have behind me and some of this stuff. But R&B, like who's some of your favorite? I'm a big New Edition person. When I was a kid, I loved New Edition.
Yeah.
So who would you pick top two if you could pick just two of your favorites of the R&B genre?
Just off of these photos right here.
Or other ones if you got other ones too. I just wanted to represent R&B with here, and you can pick your own if you got other ones.
You know what? I love this little collage right here, so I'll pick just two, right?
Yeah, pick two out of it, or one or two, whatever, man.
Okay.
TLC was dope too. I was a T-Boz fan. I love T-Boz.
Yeah, big shout out to T-Boz. Rest in peace, Left Eye.
Yes, sir.
I gotta go with Anita. Only because my mom used to play the hell out of the vinyls. Again, Body and Soul is one of my all-time favorites by AB. So big shout out to her. And I gotta go with Mary. Only
yeah, Mary's classic.
Because my mom and my aunt, which is Angie Styles, big shout out to her. She's here in the live chat. Hey, Auntie.
Angie.
Mary, when I tell you, like, my aunt used to play the hell out of Mary. Like, yeah. And Mary, like I said, she paved the way for most of these other people on here. Mary, Aaliyah, Sade.
Mary's still doing it. Still looking good. Mary J's timeless.
Yeah, it's like she's not aging. Honestly, it's like Benjamin Button. Just went in reverse. So
I'm gonna date myself again and embarrass myself a little bit. When I was in college, Poison. I had a dance routine with two of my boys to Poison.
Really?
And we used to at the little student union in college. We used to show off. We had the whole dance, all that stuff. One that hits me in the heartstrings all the time is Sade, man. This ain't no ordinary love. Yeah. There's so many of Sade's. It's so soulful. So I had to shout out to R&B, and we'll revisit R&B in a little bit. We're going to revisit this as well in just a moment, but I had to give a shout out to the rappers or hip hop. I like to say hip hop. Today it's a little different. So, and you've done this before. We'll get into some of the albums, but right now, and in chat too, if you could pick, let's do 2 or 3 of your favorite hip hop artists of all time.
Just from this list right here, this collage.
Or if you want to if you have someone not on the list, you can reach out. But this is probably one of the best ones I could find with all the big names that normally make people's top 5s.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Nas, definitely. Biggie, and I gotta say Rakim.
I love Rakim. The R.
Yeah, 18th Letter, one of my favorites. And
yeah, I got a little more of that coming up, and we're gonna do show and tell here in a second. So hold your thoughts on some of that. We're gonna bring it way back. I'm gonna go underground hip hop from the 90s too. Hashtag Leo Gang. I had to shout it out. Yes, sir. We out here.
Yes, sir. And, here's my LL right here. I don't know if you can get a little bit closer up right there.
That's dope. As I stated earlier too, this guy makes his own graphics. Digital artist here. BDB does his thing. You can check out on his page some of his merchandise as well. Please do. He's very talented, and I dig it because I know the grind of that too. I started just bringing stuff back, doing logos for people just to say, hey, your wrestler has the t-shirt, not to sell it or make money. But then someone started buying. Actually, there's a guy called Paragon of Greatness, and that's his character. And he gave me the idea for his logo, the shield and the wings and a sword and all. So I put it together, and then like a couple months later, I go to my TeePublic store. Someone bought 300 t-shirts of Paragon of Greatness.
Wow.
It was like, and 125 stickers. I go to my friend POG. We call us like, Pete, did you buy these? Is that a mistake? Because I'll refund it. Did you go to order 30 and order 300? He goes, I bought one when it came out. That's it. I only need one. I was like, wow, someone saw that and bought it. I mean, granted, TeePublic, it does good for me. If you're watching TeePublic, I'm not knocking you, but the shipping and the costs are through the roof, so I've never gotten into create my own website and stuff for all that. But like I said, it was just there for fun. But selling your own stuff can definitely help. And you can reward the people out there if they really follow you. Cowboy John, speaking of people that have been around since day one, Cowboy John, I appreciate you, my brother. That's one of the first people I saw stream on YouTube, and I was hooked. I had to try doing what everyone else does, and just have fun with it. So this is the part I've been waiting for. Show and tell. I don't even know where to freaking start. Let's start with video games a little bit.
Okay.
You old enough to remember these?
Oh my God.
Floppy disk. All right, here. These are from Commodore 64.
Wow.
You had regular Slam Dunk, which was very generic and basic.
Ooh.
And then there was Dr. J and Larry Bird 1-on-1. This is 8-bit stuff from back in the day.
Wow.
And then there was a Jordan versus Bird.
I remember that.
So floppy disk. Not too many people would know what these are, but and then there was the 3.5 discs as well for games.
Yeah.
Here's another one. We're going to do audio on this one. Tell me if you know what this is. We talked about the Game Boy.
Yeah.
This is pre-Game Boy, buddy. Look at that sucker.
Oh my God. There's a store. It's actually not too far. You say you live in Pittsburgh, right?
Yep.
Yeah. The next town over, I forgot what the name of it is, but there's an actual vintage arcade shop, kind of like GameStop. All this stuff that you're showing me, they have all of that stuff there, and it's
my childhood here.
It's a nice price too. Like everything is affordable. Man. Oh wow!
There's actually in the south side of Pittsburgh, there is an arcade where you pay one fee. I think it's like $5, and they have. I'm a pinball guy. I go to the beach and I end up in the arcade playing pinball. They have every video game, driving games, and shooting games, and everything. All these lined up. You play them all for free, or you pay $5 and just go in. It just takes me back to when I had a roll of quarters, and you got to put that quarter up to be next, and all that stuff.
Because we had a place. Because I'm originally from Jersey, for those who don't know.
Sweet.
And we had a place called Time Out, and that's where it just basically all began. Time Out and Sportland, which was in Langhorne, Pennsylvania.
I was supposed to be in Atlantic City right now.
Really?
Sports Card National is going on right now, which I'm a sports card collector for 30 plus years. And a friend of mine was driving to AC from the Pittsburgh area. I was supposed to go with him, but my health isn't good enough to get going and do that the whole week. Plus, we had someone paying for a hotel for 5 days, and that fell through. So it was going to cost a lot more. And I'm there. I have a huge collection of cards. I'm trying to get it down to just a personal collection, sell a bunch of them, all my LeBrons and old Jordans and Brady's. And I'm trying to sell them. So, and there'll be more on that in the next Blaze Cards podcast. So he's talked to the owners of Transparent Grading Team that we did before, one of the grading teams out there from Pittsburgh, now in LA, for more on Blaze Cards. I'm going to take everybody back here once again. Sweet Caroline, da, da, da. Good times never seem so good.
Yeah.
So good. So 8-track, baby, and this is Sweet Caroline.
Oh man.
Thank you. My grandmother left these when she passed away. She had a little container of these. I was like, I'm taking them. These are
rest
mine.
in peace. I instantly think of two movies when I see that. I think about Saving Silverman. And I think about Ted too. When Johnny he had the Ninja Turtle outfit on. He's at Comic-Con, and he saw all the Ted stuffed animals because the one that talked tried to blend in, and so he started singing the song because he knew that Ted liked that song. So he's trying to hold his composure, but you just kind of see him. He's like, "Sweet Caroline," and Ted just busts out right out of the. I was like, "No, like you weren't supposed to do that." Classic.
So now, let's go into vinyl. How about some vinyl?
Oh,
I have a bunch of leftover, and I found 3 that hip hop samples have been famous for.
Okay.
It's a shame the way you mess around with my heart. It's a shame.
My sister. Tell me.
Yeah, Moni Love. Where's she at? In the middle. It's a Shame by the Spinners. She sampled this. I think Cool G Rap sampled it also for It's a Shame. So there you go. I am everyday people.
Arrested Development.
Yeah, a little everyday people. Sly and the Family Stone.
Let's see.
45s. We'll get to the 33s here in a second. The size of them, if for those who don't know and never had vinyl. Vinyl's big now too as collector's items.
Oh yeah, they got this Walmart and Target.
One of my, I'll spoil my top 5. I'm a big Wu-Tang fan. Ooh. And Method Man used this. Fly, Robin, fly.
Yeah.
Up to the sky. There's old school. The silver invention. Fly, Robin, fly, baby. I'm a big Wu-Tang head, and we'll talk about that stuff. You mentioned him earlier, and I don't have my soundbite up, or I'd use it. I'm Rick James, bitch. But look at Rick. He's always chilling.
Unity.
Boy, did Dave Chappelle bring Rick James back or what, man? Love it. I just watched Dave Chappelle's latest on Netflix. He still got it, man. He still got it. Classic, one of the greatest of all times. And back in the 80s, if you were posing like this, you was the shiznit. Oh,
hey, the best, the GOAT.
You know that sitting down, laying down pose that everyone did back in the 80s? Thriller. Yeah. Yes, indeed.
You know, you're on top of the world when you have your own album certification. You got gold, platinum, diamond, and you got Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Is there a greater album? Wanna Be Starting Something, Baby Be Mine, The Girl Is Mine, Thriller, Beat It, Beetle Jean, Billie Jean, Human Nature, PYT, and The Lady in My Life. Unreal.
Start to finish. And it's crazy because one of my podcast episodes was about classic albums. We were doing whether it's a start to finish, a close call, or in between. I had so much fun with that one because we named so much stuff, and Thriller was one of them, start to finish.
So now we talked a little bit about hip hop. I'm gonna dig into the underground afterwards, but my big ones and some of my favorites right here on this little poster. I wanted to use some of the CD covers somehow, and I had this downstairs above my DJ table and everything.
Yeah.
The Ghetto Boys, We Can't Be Stopped. I got in trouble for having that tape when I was a kid because they used a lot of bad words. Yeah, LL Cool J, I can't live without my radio.
Oh my God, I think of Crush Groove every time.
One of my favorite albums of all time. I still have the tape. I should have brought that tape. Of course,
remember that movie?
Yeah. I remember Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo, all them old school. Run DMC, Tougher Than Leather. Ooh. Any Run DMC, King of Rock, all that. Obviously, Beastie Boys, Licensed to Ill. Paul's Boutique, one of the most underrated albums of all time, by the way. Yeah. One of the real creative albums. NWA, Cypress Hill, New Edition, Slick Rick the Ruler.
The Adventures of Slick Rick, classic.
Yes, sir. Of course, Dre the Chronic, classic.
Absolutely.
Ice Cube. One of my all-time favorites, and he probably makes my top 5, is KRS-One. Because of the hit KRS-One. Just KRS-One is my top 5 artists. Yeah. People go, the Biggie, the Tupac, and I agree. You can't take them out of the top 10. Yeah. But KRS-One is an originator. He was back in when the verses was two dudes standing at a club, literally off the top of the dome, freestyling against each other. De La Soul Stakes is High. I've seen him in concert 3 times. One of the best live concerts ever.
My brother actually met Positive News at what's it called, Trader Joe's.
They are amazing live, man. They get you riding with them and stuff, doing stuff in the audience. Hey, speaking of the podcast, Mitch Koski's in the building. Bird Gang 31 and Mitch Koski. That will be an upcoming August 28th. I'll be interviewing 2 guys from Philly, baby. 2 Philly boys, my boys, Pennsylvania. So Mitch Koski, big shout out to you. Bird Gang 31. I'll be interviewing them later on. Tupac, of course. Nas. I remember when this came out. My boy, you hear Soma, his stuff on my channel. Very big influence. Gangstar, Hard to Earn. DJ Premier. I mean, that's all you need to say.
One of my Mount Rushmore producers right there.
Probably my top. Even Dre too, but I love the uniqueness of Premier. Any like feature that Premier would produce. If I saw Premier did it, it was dope. It was a cool beat. It was different.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Outcast, Southern Playalistic. I love this. We bumped this for 2 summers straight. This album, another one where I think every song was dope. A lot of those really cool interludes and shit they used to do back in the day too. METHOD, man. To cow. That was my shit too. Liquid Swords, the Jizza. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, some of the stuff in that. Here's a little underground where some people know him, but Del the Funky Homo Sapien, man. West Coast, the Hieroglyphics were one of my favorites. Casual, Souls of Mischief. Del the Funky Homo Sapien. I was big into some of the underground stuff from the 90s. Wait till you see my tapes. Wu-Tang, Tribe Called Quest, one of my favorites of all time. I used a lot of quotes of Tribe. Q-Tip, Fife, everything they did was gold.
Yeah.
The Fugees, La La La.
It's the way.
Lauryn Hill's album, that was dope too.
Miseducation is start to finish.
And Wyclef Jean. I loved a lot of the Wyclef Jean stuff too. He was dope. That's my 24, if you will, of the top albums that I had. But let's get real deep. Now, we'll see who out there, if anybody knows this. If you're watching a replay, please drop in the comments some of your favorite old school artists too. So I got my cassette tapes, baby. I still got them all. We're going to go alphabetical here. Do you remember? It's the Licks, baby. The Alcoholics.
Yes, I do.
It's the Licks, baby. It's the Licks.
Tash. Who are the other?
Don't put me on the spot for all their names.
His name was Catastrophe, but then he shortened it.
Yes, dope name. Alcoholics were amazing, man.
Yeah, then they shortened it up. They called themselves the Licks.
The Licks, yeah. And rightfully so. You know.
Ah!
Cancel culture nowadays, you couldn't be called the Alcoholics. The Beat Nuts.
Woo! Psycho Les and Juju. You're the best there is.
So crazy. The Beat Nuts were classic, man. Off the Books was a great one.
Yeah.
Finger Smoke, Super Supreme. Oh, think about Cash. I could just. I have a tape player that works. I will be playing that. R.I.P. Big Pun.
Oh, one of the best. Gone too soon.
Talk about people like Twista and those that rap fast and really flow and just keep going, seem like they never stop. Big Punisher was one of those dudes, and he had Funkmaster Flex on there, Wyclef, Black Thought. Ooh, the Roots. I didn't get a Roots album. Roots is it's another one of my favorites. Fall Apart. Noriega, Capone and Noriega. Remember them?
Yeah, the War Report. The Reunion. Oh,
yeah. I haven't got you yet. I don't think I'm going to. I got one that you might not know.
Let me see.
It's coming up in a little bit. This one was one of my favorites too. Who got the props? Who got the props? Vav MD, Ebali, and Buckshot. The Black Moon enter the stage. This one, I had a buddy in college, man. That's all he did is we played NBA Live and listened to Black Moon.
Even formed a group with KRS. Did you know that?
Really?
Him and Buckshot.
Nice.
Yeah, and they had a whole album produced by Ninth Wonder. I forgot what the name of it was called. It's dope.
Ninth Wonder's cool too.
Yeah, look up KRS-One and Buckshot. You'll see like that album come up that they did. It was collaborative. Very cool.
Now this guy, you might know him by a different name now, and you might know him from a whole bunch of movies.
Okay.
This Is Me. Orange Pineapple Juice. I Used to Love HER and Resurrection. You might know him by Common Sense.
Love Common. B is still a start to finish. That album, amazing. Oh,
Chi-Town's finest, man. That dude's flow is he's one of the guys freestyling right off the head. Will blow your mind.
Him and Lupe Fiasco.
Yeah. Oh, I love Lupe Fiasco.
Have you ever heard his when he was on Sway in the Morning when he actually freestyled?
No. See, I have beef. They call them freestyles, but you can tell, and they're all free. There's more than one way to freestyle. I brought this up on in the chat and one of yours too. Old school Off the Dome, when you can tell someone's really making it up by, they're talking about your hat, they're talking about your shoes or who's behind you, and they're just making stuff up, to people who take some written stuff and jumble them up and still freestyle it over a different beat. So I consider two different genres of freestyle: Off the Dome and ones that they kind of had prepared, but they throw them around.
Yeah. I talked about that on my podcast episode, The World of Battle Rap. And I was actually breaking down all of the different styles. And of course, freestyle, believe it or not, people don't think it is. It is considered a form of battle rap.
Yeah. And like I remember seeing KRS-One on the stage in little clubs when they would battle rap back in the day. And so how about this one is another one where I would put on a list where there's not a bad one on here. I'm not going to say one of the names, so they'll give it away. In the Ghetto, Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em, Mahogany. Eric B. and Rock Him, Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em.
Man,
that's my favorites.
They're just flawless.
They are great, and they have been. Another one that could rhyme a little fast and kick it, and he's been around for a long time. Cool G Rap.
Oh, yeah, that's Godfather right there.
Classic. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, man. He is one of the godfathers of rap. Little bit underground, but do you remember a song called Renee?
Lost Boys.
Yeah, I can't get you.
The law that we live by. They were just how much already had to die. Oh, man.
Great. Oh, man. All right.
I know my music.
You're from the area where you'll know a lot of the East Coast ones. There's one you might not get, but this one you might. The AC Master Ace Incorporated.
Oh, yeah. M.A.
The Slaughterhouse. Love Master Ace. One of the most underrated rappers of all time.
I would say him, Evidence from Dilated Peoples, The Far Eye.
Dilated Peoples.
Yeah, Slug, all of them. Alchemist, all of them.
Okay. Don't know if you know this one. This is around the NWA times, and he came up. I believe he's Texas, like Ghetto Boys type. I think, I'm not sure, but
Scarface,
Paris. Not the devil made me do it. I knew I'd get you on one. This guy had some of the sickest flow and some of the craziest beats. If you guys don't know who Paris is, I had to get you on one.
Yeah,
it's a good one. He had a song called "The Devil Made Me Do It." I wish copyright reasons I could play some of these, but Paris was bomb. I dug with these, but when I saw these, you know how hip hop was. This guy wanted to promote his boy. This guy wanted to promote his. So you got a lot of people that were featured and stuff, and I always tried to get their stuff. She keeps on passing me by. Far Side.
Yeah. Oh,
when I dream of fairy tales, I think of me and Shelley. Great stuff.
Infinity. Oh man.
Yes. Souls of Mischief, Far Side, all that. Hieroglyphics is what they were under in the West Coast. Very underrated. Now, this one I got into a lot of trouble. This is the last one. It's kind of a funny one. Everyone remember the 2 Live Crew band in the USA? Uncle Luke.
Yeah, right.
My mom's doesn't curse, right? She found this in the car. And me and my friend came home, and she dropped like 10 F-bombs explaining what she heard when she turned the car on. And I forgot to take the tape out. I got in big trouble for this one, but
I could imagine.
That is show and tell. I knew we'd have some fun with some of the old stuff.
Nice.
Playing around. So we got tape, CD. It's funny. It's weird to me that like all these music mediums are gone. They're not gone, but, you know, it's obsolete. This new computer that I invested in doesn't even have a CD player in it. You know, and I was like, back in the day, you got a CD burner, you got a DVD, you got a DVD burner and all that. Me and my buddy used to, back in the day, I was the one that would sit and watch MTV and tape my favorite videos and then have a VHS with all my favorite videos. We used to take tapes and we called it pause recording. We would pause it, then we would start it up, then we'd pause it. We made our own mixes just by pausing and starting. So I got a couple more to throw out there to see if you remember from my buddy's tape that I'm actually transposing into digital. The Fushnikins. Off and On, Trends of Culture. That's a really obscure one, but a very dope one. How about Deeper, Boss? Deeper, Deeper, Boss.
Every move I make, he's falling.
Yes. Apache, Gangsta. I want a gangsta. What? A gangsta.
Oh yeah. Remember Apache.
The Wick from Gangstar and Nice and Smooth was one of my favorites too back in the day.
Yeah.
You gotta love it.
Nice.
And remember when Chris Rock did that movie CB4? Sweat from my balls. He did a song called Sweat
black,
from my balls.
No black, y'all. No black.
Yeah.
Black.
How about Brand
Black?
Nubian? Brand Nubian. Also another one I
Foundation?
used to love. Yeah, Brand Nubian was
back
good.
up off the wall. And just
Punks jump up to get beat down. That's what I love. Man, I could sit here and talk old school with you forever. We got a couple more questions here, and then we'll talk about our final thought. So from all the show and tell now, back to a couple questions. This is the situation the base is in. Tell me about a time you took a negative and turned it into a positive.
So I had 2 friends of mine who they recently just patched up their little feud, but they were roommates at one point, and I knew them both respectively. And the funny thing is, I had no idea that they even had a situation amongst them because every time we would play games and we would be in the live chat, they would never say a word to each other. And everybody else is in there, we're laughing, we're joking, and I'm just like head scratching, like, okay, did I miss something? What's happening? So I remember talking to them, privately outside of the group chat individually, and they were telling me what the situation was. And I'm like, dang, it just sucks that, we're all in the same group. We all know each other, and we got people within our circle who are having a rift. And I don't even remember what it was about. I know part of the reason was because they were roommates and they didn't see eye to eye with a lot of things, but it got worse after they parted ways. And so, I just remember playing a lot of fighting games with them, and they were like really, really dope too. Like, I'm able to stick with them and vice versa. And so I just remember talking to one of my other friends that was in that same group chat. I'm like, look, I got to find a way to get these 2 to like kind of squash whatever this little issue is, because it's not even that deep. I mean, they were about to fight everything. It was that serious. And so, of course, at the time, I'm like freshly new into the channel. And so I was thinking to myself, I said, you know what? There's this one particular game that they both play and they are like really, really good at. They're probably two of the best I've ever fought against and watched play. And it's Dragon Ball Fighter Z. And so I just remember I said, look, we had a recent, this is not recent, but this is a few years back. We were in a group chat party and still same thing. They barely say anything. They're not talking. I said, look, damn it. Enough's enough. All right. This is what we're going to do. I said, and I could tell them their names. They're Travis and Tori, and big shout out to them both, my brothers from another. I said, look, enough is enough. We got to squash this because y'all can't keep coming up in my little party chats and just not saying a word. We all playing the game and we trying to communicate and y'all won't say ish to one another. This is what we going to do. Y'all both play this game. Y'all love it. You guys are skilled at it. Y'all done whooped my ass a bunch of times in it. Even though I got mine in. Maybe not. I haven't won as much, but I got a couple rounds. And I said, look, this is what we going to do. We're going to raise the stakes. I want both of y'all to face off on each other. I'm going to host it. And this is where I knew, okay, I'm about to start getting more into hosting on my channel. I'm going to host this event. You guys are going to do a best out of 7, kind of like a playoff type series. You guys are going to go at it. I'm talking about take all your anger, your frustration, your hate, all of that, and put it into the controller and go at each other like you've never gone at each other before. And at first, they were kind of reluctant. But then I said, you know what? To raise the stakes and make it even more interesting, I want y'all to put some money on the line because people play a lot differently.
Yes.
Let me tell y'all. Let me take that. They play much differently when that money's on the line. When it comes to competitive gaming, it don't matter if it's $5, $10. They see the green, they get mean. So I told them, I said, look. Y'all can wager whatever the amount is. I know, like at the time, they were kind of strapped for cash. So I said, look, whatever y'all amount you want the amount to be, wager that and do that. They said, okay, we got some money. We'll do $50 each. I set it up. I put everything together. I actually have the broadcast. I can pull them up and stuff in the live chat if you guys want to see it. And they both agreed to it. I hosted everything. A whole bunch of people came in. It didn't go viral or anything, but it did do good as far as the viewership. Well over like 100 views. And when I tell you these guys were going at it, I mean, from start to finish, every single round, it was just intense. Like, I could tell they were just putting their all into it. And it was so dope seeing them do it because I really didn't think they were going to agree to it. Long story short, I forgot who won exactly, but shortly after that, maybe like a few days afterwards, they actually told me that they hit each other up. They had a private conversation and they hashed it out. And the rest was history. So now we're like the best of friends again, all because of just that one gaming setup. So it was real dope to not only put that together just for my channel, because I do other gaming for other people outside of what I normally do. So to get them to do that and watch them bury the hatchet was a beautiful thing. And, they even thanked me for doing it too. They told me how much fun they had, even though, at the time they were hating each other. So it was real dope.
That's a beautiful thing, man. That is a really good answer. I told Grid and Trox last week that they really set the bar high, but you are knocking it out of the park here, and I love it. That's a great answer. Similar situations on almost everybody's channel, I'm sure I've seen. And I didn't really speak up before when I first started because, like I said, I was a little more shy about, trying to interject. I didn't want to scare anybody away because I wanted as many followers as I could. But, we realized, and you're bringing everything full circle from the beginning of this show, talking about the power that we have, that we can actually make a difference out there and using that to our advantage. Yeah. All right, let's have some fun with this last question of this segment. If you could have dinner with 3 people, dead or alive, who would it be? Famous people if you want, people if you know, anybody. 3 people that you'd love to sit down and chit chat with.
I thought I was the one always challenging everybody on my podcast. I am being challenged with these questions, but it's good because it makes me think.
Yeah.
All right.
Feel free to steal any of these questions for your podcast. That's what I'm doing it for.
Oh, no.
I love when people, like I said, compliments, embarrassment, but it's also flattery, imitation flattery. So use it your own way. I do crazy things on my games too. The ladder matches in our 2K games were terrible. They never went up. They took forever to unhook the damn briefcase. I'm like, I gotta think of something. All right, you guys ever play Hangman? Ladder chat Hangman. So I get a 4-letter word in my head. While they're messing with the briefcase, you guys in the live chat, try to guess what the 4-letter word or the 5-letter word is. And all these, my comments went through the roof. They're all giving ideas. Okay, first letter's a B. And then they're starting guessing. I give them hints along the way. Last letter's an E, you know. So try to be creative with it. That's unreal. So 3 people you want to sit down with.
Stan Lee, rest in peace.
Ooh, good one.
He's the reason why I became an artist. And not just that, but just the fact that he created my favorite hero of all time, Spider-Man. Just watching his documentaries and, you know, even when I was going to college in New York, for those who don't know, I went to School of Visual Arts, you know, I got a chance to, they would show us some of the seminars of, you know, when he actually came to the school and whatnot and how he would talk and everything. And I was just so blown away by just how he just put everything together and created Marvel Comics and just the whole universe in its entirety. And he's such a chill, down-to-earth person. Like, you wouldn't even think that he was, but just real humble and everything. I'm talking like I actually met him. I never met him, but
no, that's okay.
Him for sure. 2 more. I have to say President Obama. And he's a Leo too, for those who don't know.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'd like to pick his brain too, as well as Stan Lee. Those are amazing. Okay, number 3.
Number 3.
You can only have 2. Maybe it's only 2. There's no wrong answers.
You know what? Yeah.
Do you have a third one? How about a music artist you'd love to use?
Music artist.
Since we're talking all about music tonight, you got me wanting to play all my tapes. Kill Shock, you see. Yeah, Nas would be a good one.
Yeah, I've
tell me some stories, Nas. You tell him in your music. Tell me a story.
Definitely, I've seen him in concert. He kills it every single time. But just how smart he is for someone to drop out of like high school, and the fact that he still kept educating himself even outside of that. And you can hear it with some of the stuff he talks about. You know, outside of just being just an amazing lyricist, it's just like, man, like, again, like, even I tell people still to this day, I feel like he's better than Jay-Z. You know, we still.
I won't argue with that. I'm not, you know, Biggie, Tupac, Jay-Z. I won't take them out of the top 5, or if people want to, but I like Nas's flow better.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I really do.
Flow, just more,
and then the beats behind it matter to me because I'm a drummer, I'm a beat maker, so.
Yeah. Just his creativity, and people don't know he's a Virgo too. You know, Virgos are our next door neighbors. Yeah, they're really guys, I like to call them.
One of those unique voices too. I can tell in Nas, you know, shout outs. You don't have when he's in a feature and there's a bunch of guys, which he's been in a bunch of all those collabs that people do. I used to love those when all those guys would do collabs 1, 2, 3, 4, and some of those old collabs they did. Oh.
Like John Blaze.
Yes, yeah, exactly. See, yes, thank you. All right. Yes, sir. Now you're alone on an island. You can only take 3 items with you. You can think out the box too. I cheated. When I did this with my parents. I told them, I was like, one of my items is my entire house. But you know, my dad didn't get it very much. He was like, a hot woman. He started naming all these hot ladies. I was like, no, Dad, 3 things. If you want to bring a lady, I guess I can't complain. He goes, my cell phone. I was like, Dad, you're on an island. Your cell phone ain't gonna work. So 3 items that you would take with you on an island.
3 items. Oh man. I guess I'm taking one of my gaming controllers just so I could imagine being able to play, even though it's probably not going to happen. Just sit there like
pretend. Okay.
Hold my PlayStation controller. Like one day we're going to get off this island. No one's coming. I don't care how many times I got to keep writing SOS throughout the sand. Someone is coming. We will be together soon one day.
That's good.
That's one. Man. Can we bring people or?
3 things, if you want to consider 3 things. 3 things. That's why I was Dad, not a bunch of hot naked women. Dad, just pick some things.
Oh man, definitely like something to be able to sketch and draw.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm an artist, so that's never going to change. Art and gaming are just embedded into my blood. I love them both equally, but of course, art slightly more. But.
Okay. So the third one, you got two of your favorite things. Now you got to survive.
Okay, then something to drink water out of at least.
Okay, there you go.
A pitcher, or a Red Bull can or something.
There you go. Someone said a med kit, and I was like, "That's a good one." I don't even thought of that.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna find a Band-Aid anywhere, but you might find some bamboo to wrap around an injury or something. But that's a good one. I wouldn't have thought
Only
of that.
problem though with that med kit is all those supplies within there are going to run out fast. So.
True, very true. So you need to find a good leaf that would use as some gauze or something if you get hurt. So that's good. I'm always intrigued for what people will do that. So this final segment started on our Wrestle Sense podcast as I go around and here, and we've both said it. We all say this a lot, here and there. And I've joked around with people, and I like digging on them. It's all about having fun. When people say "not gonna lie" or "to tell you the truth," I'm like, well, what? You're normally gonna lie to me? What's this all about? And also at the end of the day, so we're gonna close it out with a couple last tidbits. At the end of the day. That's a beat I did not make. Big shout out to my brother. It's his latest song he just wrote not too long ago. And speaking of Chase, we got Chase in the building here. Good to see you. Welcome in. Chase Bishop in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Glad to see everybody stopping by. Just a reminder before we close this out with this final segment real quick, hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. It really helps out the stream and the channel. You've seen his channel blasted all through the chat the entire day. If you are not subscribed to BDB, don't make me come to your house and push the damn subscribe button for you. It's well worth it. And I think I've given you, I don't tell people to just subscribe to someone's channel if I don't think it's worth it, but we also brought a lot of the reasons why. If you're a gamer, if you like music, or if you just like really cool people that are engaging with the live chat, this guy got it going on. So for the final segment, we got just a couple quick questions. Number one, probably the most important if you ask me. Tell me some advice you'd give to a new or growing YouTube content creator.
Ooh, it's funny because I've been asked this so many times in my stream. Here's the most important thing outside of everything else I'll tell you. Number one, make sure this is something you want to do, because you have to know that you're going to embrace the good, the bad, the ugly, the highs, the lows, ups and downs, the whole 9 yards. All of that is going to come with this. So you just got to be prepared for that. But yeah, definitely make sure this is something you want to invest in and that is something you want to do. And I'm not saying that to say that it's not fun. It is very fun. But I've seen a lot of people come and go because it starts off great for them and then something happens or something triggers them to now fade out of the limelight, in a sense, the YouTube limelight. And now they're, they become like a here today, gone tomorrow type of thing. So, study, research, figure out what you want to do, figure out what your platform is going to represent, the premise of your channel and your content, all of those things. That is the most important thing you want to do. That's number one. Number two, don't focus so much on the numbers and what everybody's telling you what you should do and what you shouldn't do. I mean, do listen to it, but kind of just research and just almost become your own analyst with all the do's and don'ts. I mean, definitely, don't troll and stuff. That's probably cardinal rule number one when it comes to this platform. But really just take the time out to research everything that comes with being on here. Learn as much as possible. Don't get upset or envious of the next person and whatnot. Don't feel like, people are trying to throw it in your face and stuff. Learn from these people, because in order to be the best, you got to stand out from the rest. Make sure you do amazing content. Don't focus so much on these numbers and the analytics, because something I've just kind of been learning since I've been on this journey is that, when it comes to the views and the likes and everything like that, it's like the stock market with the numbers. They go up and down. Think about NASDAQ. Think about Dow Jones and all the other ones. 1 minute it's up 30 points. The next thing is nose down 40. Then it's up 5. Then it's 10. Then it starts to look like the Pennsylvania lottery. Remember that? The Pennsylvania lottery. So yeah, numbers are going to fluctuate up and down. Views, all of that. Followers, people are going to come, people are going to go. Focus on just being the most innovative and creative content creator you can be. Focus on just putting out amazing content. Think outside the box. Yep. You can look at what other people do, and there's nothing wrong with that. No, I wouldn't necessarily say copy or duplicate, but put your own twist on it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to, dive into the gaming. Like it's not hard to sit in front of your TV and whatever device you're using, grab a controller, a headset, and camera, and all that, and stream. But bring something different to the table. Bring something, innovative that people haven't seen or don't expect. Most importantly, be yourself. Because again, like you got to remember, when you're climbing up that mountain to success, there's only two people trying to make it up to that mountain. The ones that want to be like you and learn from you and see any and everything that you're doing, and then the other ones that are trying to dethrone you. I'll never forget. I always remember this.
Well put.
Huh?
That's very well put.
Thank you.
I agree.
I don't know if you remember Method Man's second album, To Cal 2000. I don't know what song it was, but he had a skit where this old man was saying, it's easy to get into the game, but once you're in the game and you're on top, how long can you stay there before someone else is trying to knock you off of that throne? Just know that it's two people trying to do that. Ones that want to be like you and share the throne with you. The other one's trying to knock you off that mountain and take that spot. Don't let them. Again, we were taught to lead, not to follow. So the only time you should ever follow is when you're learning from the leaders so that you can go on and do the exact same thing that they're doing. So that's what it's all about. And most importantly, too, this should be kind of like, it kind of feels like the 10 crack commandments,
Before you get to that, speaking of following, follow Big Daddy Beard if you're going to follow anything. There he is.
Your favorite gamer's favorite gamer. But
I love it.
This is actually just after the whole making sure this is something you do. Have fun.
Yeah.
I look at a lot of these content creators that get on here. Some of them just look so bored. They look so uninterested. They trying to treat it like
hate.
Yeah. They just like, it's almost like they're just, you can tell the ones who are really having fun and who are really loving what they do versus the ones that are just trying to just do it just because they heard, I can get money or I can get monetized.
Yeah. Don't do it for money.
So much on that. Don't get me wrong. Being monetized is great. It definitely separates you as far as like the men and the boys.
Yeah.
But remember too, it's still a lot of work to maintain that money coming in consistently on a monthly basis once you do become monetized with that YouTube partner program. And remember too, just because you become monetized, don't think for a second they can't take it away. They can.
Amen.
Staying consistent. That's why they give you the option to say, look, do you want to stay with the program or do you want to opt out? You can do that anytime. It's almost like a contract in sports and stuff.
Yep. Amen.
So make sure, again, this is something that you really want to do and just bring that lively, bubbly persona to your channel. And like I said, be true to you in everything you do, because as long as you do that, everything else is going to come into place. You're going to get money. You're going to get followers. You're going to get views. You're going to get subs. All that stuff's going to come with it. It's not. People say, it's so difficult to get 4,000 watch time hours and $1,000. No, it's not. I will tell you the hardest thing, just my 4-year journey, it's getting people that are going to ride with you till the wheels fall off. Building a community. That's what it's all about. You got to focus more on that and not just worrying about whether this video or these couple of streams are going to go viral and all that stuff like that. Because it's not about that.
I wrote this down. Loyalty is currency. That's what we were just talking about that earlier. You get them people to stick around. Some people to get that one viral video and it gets 1 million views, they go from 50 subscribers to 10,000. But no, still same amount of viewers. It's all empty subscribers. If you know YouTube, and I've seen that happen a few times. You got to keep being consistent. I've seen YouTube, they do the purge every once in a while. All those dead channels that don't come around or don't have a channel anymore, you're going to lose those subscribers.
Yeah.
Building a community like we have done, whether we tried to or not, people just keep coming back. Loyalty is currency, man.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And also remember too, with this, these type of opportunities and platforms, they're opening multiple doors. When you go through one door, there's another hallway or corridor full of tons of other doors to open and go through, and so forth and so forth. So you gotta stay consistent. I'm not saying you gotta necessarily stream every hour on the hour, but people need to at least know that you're still alive and that you're
couple times a week will keep you in that YouTube algorithm that they say, hey, this dude's continuing.
And you think YouTube and the partnerships and the programs are paying attention, they're watching everything. It's so that's what it's all about. Stay consistent, stay creative, stay hungry. I told people even before I got monetized, and people thought I was crazy for saying this. I said, I don't even care if I don't get monetized. People were like, wait, what? You don't want to be monetized? I'm like, I didn't say I don't want to be monetized. I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on just delivering great content and thinking outside the box and thinking of the next thing that someone else did not think of. That's what it's about. Because I know once I focus on this particular aspect, everything else is going to come into play. I woke up one morning and I just happened to see an email pop up and it said, congratulations, you're part of the YouTube Partner Program. I had no idea. And then I go back and I'm reading like all my comments and stuff. People were like, oh yeah, congratulations. I was running your playlist and all that stuff. I didn't even ask people to do that. Yeah. They were just doing it. So that's what it's about.
Yeah.
And when they did it, they were coming back. Oh, BDB, I love this. I love that. I didn't even know you did this game. I didn't even know you were talking about this on your podcast. This is dope. That's dope. Boom, boom. So that's what it's about. Focus on all of those things and everything else is going to come into place. Now, the biggest test is once all that stuff starts to happen, are you prepared for what's to come? Because if you're not, then that's where you're going to go up and go right down.
Be proactive, not reactive. I've always been taught that. Yes, sir.
What he said.
Be proactive, not reactive. Always think ahead. Dude, you've hit every point. I'm making notes here because that was and once again, you're bringing us full circle. We talked about all those things earlier, creativeness and stuff like that. The numbers, yes, the 1,000 numbers and the 4,000 watch hours is probably the only numbers that are really big because you do get, but trust me, folks, when you get monetized, money don't stop falling from the damn sky.
Yeah.
It took me months and months, even years before even any money came through, but I wasn't about the money. I still isn't. A lot of that, every penny that I've gotten this channel has gone right back in, whether it's for the StreamYard's monthly fee or this beautiful computer that I finally could pay. But monetization isn't everything. We talked about that. Toxicity. People say, oh, this is toxic. It's only if you let it be. It's only if you let it be. And when you said about all these other people, that's my go-to. I want to pick the brains of everybody. Take one good thing from him, one from him. I like what he does. I like what she does, and be unique. Yeah. And then I got so many examples of this one that you hit that there's a lot of YouTubers that I've met. And once again, I would never knock anybody on how they do it. But when things are going good, they're the nicest dudes, the coolest guys on the planet. But when things aren't going good, you turn into someone you just can't stand. I would never yell at my people in the chat because I haven't seen them in a month. Maybe they were sick. Maybe they were working. People have jobs. People have families. People have things to do. I've seen people yell and scream at their people in the what in the, you have no right. Yeah. And the one analytic that and we talked about this the last stream, and then we're closing this out. Average watch time is a very big analytic. A lot of people realize that when you go in your analytics, you're going to see views and all this stuff, which all those numbers count. Likes, views, subscribers are huge. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. Those are the name of the game as far as YouTube. But average watch time means you not only got that person, you held on to them. And I think it was Super Nacho that said, because he just started streaming. We started with the Legion Dork, and he's doing a little wrestling thing. If you got over 10 minutes of average watch time, that's huge. You cannot think because you're doing 2-hour streams, your average watch time is going to be an hour or more. It ain't, because people come in, they leave. They come in, they leave. I worked for Verizon Wireless, and the company put a door counter, and our bonus as managers was based off of how many people came in against how many people came out, and they balanced it against how many sales we made. My argument was, hold on, I'm in a mall. People are coming in just to look at stuff and leave. They're not here to buy. You're going to hold that against me? Or a family of 10 come in just to buy grandma a phone, and then they leave. That's 10 to 1. And they said, well, you're not looking at 50, 30, 20. You're looking at like 10, 11%, 8% is good because they take all that into consideration. So average watch time is something a lot of people don't think of, but it's a variable. I think it's very important because you're keeping that audience. You're not just come in and leave. But like you said, and I said it earlier, as long as you're doing content which people are going to enjoy and you're being creative and unique, stuff is just going to happen for you. Yeah. It shouldn't be about money. It shouldn't be about numbers. It should be about having fun. And I've met people all over the world. That still blows my mind.
Yeah, the fact that I got people in the Philippines, China, it's like, man. And it's crazy. One of my videos I just recently found out is almost at 2,000 views. I had no idea. And it's a video that my brother and I did a game called The Blob 2. I don't know if you play that. That game is amazing. Definitely check it out. it was like, I was back when I first started. I was still kind of learning, it was kind of like low budget because, our sound wasn't great. I mean, you could still hear us in a sense, but we just did a co-op stream and I was amazed at how many views and the fact that it's still like in my analytics when I go to look at it, it's still like the highest ones out of everything. Battle of the Beats 1 and 2 are probably like right after that, and both of those combined are about like at 700 or 800 views right now. So, and I was so amazed at how well that did because I mean, I had a feeling it was going to do good, but I didn't think it was going to do that well. So
it could happen out of the blue, man. Even old videos. That's why I want to share some of the best practices. Those little hashtags in your description, the keywords in your description, your homepage for new people seeing what you got going on, being like, oh, I didn't know he did that and that. I got to check this dude out. And those things are really can make a difference. Those literal search words, and that's coming from my computer background, that people can search and find your stuff. And if you go into your videos, and it's tedious, there's a lot of work behind what we do. Don't get it wrong, people. There's a lot of work if you want to be successful, to go in and do tags, put all your tags. I mean, someone showed me once, he was like, if you're going to, dub a wrestling, you got a wrestling, have this, have that, have all the names of the companies, this, that, all these tags, so they can find you. And Beetleborgs, you sum it up perfectly. If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. You got to be having fun. Otherwise, who wants to sit there and see a guy mumbling the whole time?
Hey, well, stream.
Yeah. I don't even really feel like doing this. I don't know why I'm doing it, but I'm here. Well, then don't do it.
You guys I've seen people do that. It's crazy.
Your channel, we've talked a lot about your channel, and I really mean it. Promoting the hell out of it because I think it's definitely entertaining and something you guys should check out. What is next for the channel? What's your next stream? I know you got a podcast coming up. Tell the people out there what they can expect from Big Daddy Beard Gaming and Promotions, BDBGP, here in the coming weeks.
So my next podcast episode, it was actually supposed to be on my birthday, which is August 11th, but my family, they want to take me out. They're like, look, we're taking you out. You need to go. We're going. Reschedule. I'm like, oh, fine. So I have my next episode coming up on the 4th. That one is going to revolve around the world of astrology. So anybody that is a fan of, the zodiacs and, you love yours, whether you're Leo, Cancer, Virgo, Sagittarius, we're going to be talking about that. And we definitely going to have some fun with it because that's been one of the topics I've been wanting to get to for a while. Everybody's like, oh, mine's is better. So not only do I want to learn more about it and I want to really debate on it, but I definitely want to make it fun for everybody who just follows the astrological world. So that's coming up. I'm still continuing on with my Family Feud series, my one-on-one with all the couples. I actually have one in a little bit that I'm going to be streaming once I'm done with this. So if you guys want to check that out and come in and rock out, of course, it's interactive, so you guys can definitely join in while you're within the live chat. Again, I got a ton of games on the way. I'm going to be streaming stuff from my PlayStation. I'm going to be streaming titles from my Switch, both old and new. Of course, everything that you guys see within those playlists that I've done, like the Retro Hour, Take a Walk with Me, which basically is like a journey through all the one-player games that I have. I got more from that. I have another playlist I did called Just the Two of Us, where I collaborate with different people on and off.
Just the two of us.
We can make it if we try. So coming up. I mean, I'm already doing it, but I got more coming up because that's probably like the hardest one to do. It's just finding out the time and the schedule for everybody and making sure they had the game so we could be able to actually do that. But that's pretty much it. And like I said, if I'm just looking for more and more stuff to just get creative and diverse with. I do have one party game that I want to set up, and I'm hoping I can get enough people involved. It's called Mad vs. City. It's a rap robot battle game. I did it a while back. If you guys get a chance, I'm going to find out how to edit and get all my playlists on the front of my homepage. But it's called Mad vs. City. Really, really dope. I actually did several streams of it where different people just came in and we played. But this time what I want to do is I want to get a tag team set up where it can be couples, it can be friends, it can be like, spouses, brothers and sisters, siblings, and everybody just come in and, of course you got to be side by side with your partner and actually create like a dope group name for yourself. And everybody faces off against each other in that setup. And it's a party game.
You're so creative, man. I freaking love it, dude. That's what it's. This dude, you remember the DOC? This dude has the formula. The formula. I love DOC, but I hate it when he heard his voice, man. He had such a great flow. we got a question in the chat. I like some of the stuff. If you Nightbot, Stream Elements, Stream Labs, it can do some of those. You can trigger different games and stuff to that. There's a lot of real cool stuff out there. My advice would be go check it out if you like it. If you want to do custom shout outs or stuff like that to take the load off you a little bit, hey, do it, man. There's all kinds of stuff that when I dipped into OBS, I use XSplit, which is like OBS when I was doing my Red Zone streams. But there's so many things. You can have someone's name pop up when they subscribe, when they super chat, all kinds of crazy shit. So, just be creative. Go find out what you like and reach out. This is what this is all about. Ask around. Get some best practices. Learn from other people. Don't be afraid. I was at first, but then I realized, just pick other people's brains, find out what you like and you don't like, and make it your own. So now we come to at the end of the day. So we got our final thoughts. One last final thought. You got to start it out with at the end of the day. Big Daddy Beard, at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, again, work hard, get money, live lovely. That's how it goes. That's the motto that you should follow from when you wake up to when you lay down in bed and get ready to close your eyes. Make that your objective. Follow those 3 things in that order, and you can live whatever type of life you want to live. You can do whatever you want to do. Sky's the limit. Most importantly, dare to be different. There's nothing wrong with, being creative, thinking out the box, and try different things and just see what happens. Get as experimental as possible, because you never know what's going to take off or how it's going to do. Don't second guess yourself. Don't overthink it. I don't want to necessarily curse, but there's this thing I tell people: you got to get out of what's called the fuck it phase.
Yeah. This isn't a PG channel. We curse all we want around here.
You just gotta say fuck it and just do it and see what happens, because like I said, you never know. You never know who's watching. You never know if it's going, how well it's going to do. You never know if it's going to take off. This Battle of the Beast thing. This was just a free This idea came from a group chat that I was in, because some of my friends were producers and they were actually like showing off their beats and stuff. They're like, oh, okay. Oh, you got this beat? That's dope. All right, check this out. Oh, okay. Now, I'm sitting here just like looking and listening to everything, and the gears in my head just started turning, because I'm constantly in creative mode 24/7.
Yeah.
I'm like a damn 7-Eleven when it comes to creativity.
Amen.
So I literally, I'm listening to the songs, the beats they're putting together, and the idea just popped in my head. I said, yo, I got this podcast. Let's turn this into like a bonus thing, and you guys come up here and y'all face off against each other and showcase your talent for a lot of those people that don't know what you're capable of doing. And, of course, they were like, oh, no, laughing and LOLs and all of the emojis and GIFs and all that stuff. I'm just like, listen, trust me when I tell y'all. One thing I hate when I know I'm right.
I got you.
Because it's
humble nature once again. I got you.
I hate doing that. I told you so, or what have we learned? So
same way. I'm the same way, man.
Yeah. So then they didn't realize. They thought I was joking at first, but I was dead serious. I was serious as a heart attack and a stroke at the same time. So I said, look, let's do this, fellas. Let's put this together and let's see what happens. I mean, what do you got to lose? It's free promotion. I'm
sharing the love.
Yeah, I don't even need to do this. I'm already doing what I'm doing. This is for you guys, from me to you. So they're like, okay, you know what? Let's do it. They put their beats together. I got everything organized and curated. And it's like, look what happened. Like, so many people came in, more people than I imagined. Like, again, and it just turned out amazing. We had the little like nicks and stuff like that, but I mean, just the overall program and the event and how the reaction from everybody was like, oh my God. Like, this
you got a great co-host. Deeds is great. That dude is very cool. He helps you run the show, and just like you said, showcasing these people's talent, whether they have a YouTube channel or not. They're going to have at least 1, 2, 3, maybe more new fans after that. Be like, wow, that's really cool. And that's unity. We're getting that unity. I say it's kind of corny, but I say it all the time because I want to put unity back into the community, and that's part of it. And that's what we do. And that's what this guy does right here. And now you guys can see why I get along with him. We got a lot in common, and we're here for pretty much the same reason. And I told you, I had a feeling it was going to be a good interview, but it was a oh my, it was a slam dunk. To close this off, coming up next week, Wrestling Days is on the channel. He's from the UK. I've watched this dude over the past couple years. He's very humble and real like us, very engaging with the chat. And we spoke about how numbers don't really mean that much, but this dude is over 250,000 subscribers now. Wow. He is worldwide. He has a hell of a following. He does UFC watch-alongs, wrestling watch-alongs, and he started with toy hunts. You know, he used to go out and hunt the different toys and talk about them, and now he's grown to be I thought for sure he would say, no, sorry, can't do the interview. And he says he normally turns them down, but that is next week. Jackknife Finnegan, who does GTA, Fortnite, bunch of different games. This dude, I've seen him grow as well for the last couple years. When he was a couple hundred subscribers, I think I started watching him. He's loud, he's brash, but funny. He has his own little sayings like we do. Yeah. He's very creative and out of the box, engaging with his chat. Jackknife Finnegan is also coming up on the 14th. I have a fantasy football draft on the 21st. My birthday's on the 22nd. And then we got Bird Gang and Mitch Kosky from Philly. Next month, I still got a whole bunch. I'm bringing a House of X on here because Leo and Wanston, I got interviewed by them. It's one of the reasons that I'm doing these interviews, because when they interviewed me, it was emotional. I'm a very emotional dude. And it really makes my heart grow to be able to do this for people, not only the content creator, but my community, your community. I want to bring people's communities together and show that YouTube can be a non-toxic place if you really make it. Too many people are like, it's toxic. And I'm like, only if you make it. So at the end of the day, thank you, Big Daddy Beard. This has been amazing. And we'll see you on the next episode. We'll see you on his. And I like to say, see you in my streams. But today, y'all just got blazed. Oh, we're out of here. See you around, people. Thanks for being a part of the show. Leave a comment, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Peace, people. Thank you.
We out here.
Blazed. Get blazed. Blazed.
Hey, if you're still here, I'm going to do one last thing before we go. And this is how we share the love as well. I started doing this before, and I almost forgot to do it. But I always try to share the love a little more before we leave. Beetle knows this guy. A lot of people know him. We are going to do, if you're still here and you want to do a raid, I know some people have left, but TJ Toad is live right now. There's the link. Click it. Head over. Blaze Raid. Share the love. And once again, like my boy put it, hashtag Leo Gang. Hashtag we out here.
Get blazed. Get blazed.